DreamHack Masters Las Vegas is brought to you by Asus, Republic of Gamers, HyperX, Monster Energy, live at MGM Grand.
Day one in the arena, our first quarterfinal in North. Starting off well there, map choice Nuke goes the way it should. They are one of the better teams on it, and they show us why. It was close due to the fact of heroics from Zeus in particular, but now we go to Inferno. They've beaten Fnatic on it, and Gambit have to run back into this series. Yeah,
really exciting map to kick things off there. So Gambit showed that they could get back into it. They got that 5-0, but Inferno, a big question mark about this map generally, not even just in this matchup. No one really knows whether it's a T-sided map or a CD-sided map. We've only seen it played twice in the big tournament so far, and that's at this one. So it's very difficult to say where this one's going to go.
And the bigger question is, Valve took it out to fix up some of the tight choke points, a lot of the over-textured positions that was very hard to spot. CTs coming out of apartments was very, very tough at times. They did it after they added the extra 10 seconds, which actually already made the map relatively balanced. And now the changes that Valve made, how does that shift the meta? How quickly did teams change what they used to do on Inferno into something entirely different? And is that even possible? That's what I like to see from a new map, how it develops, how different teams take different approaches to start things off on it.
I really like the adjustments they made. I think there were a lot of issues with the odd Inferno, although it was one of my favorite maps to cast and watch CS on generally. It definitely had issues towards like Banana. The pillars didn't really make sense. The pit area was a bit of a mess. But this one actually, it looks beautiful and it plays very nicely as well. What we say is we don't really know what's going to happen here. No one's played it at all. Like it was only announced a few weeks ago that it's coming back into the pool, and DreamHack Vegas is the first tournament to use it. So it's difficult for me to really speculate as to who's going to run away with this one. Yes, we've seen them both play it, but obviously Fnatic didn't look great when they played against Gambit, and I don't know, it was a difficult game for North against Optic, but I think good on either way.
I also attribute that partly to two things. Fnatic didn't look good on it, even though they were very good on the map, the original version of the map. For two reasons. One, they haven't had time as a new team to play it, and two, they just haven't looked good as the new team yet for me. So I think there's not a lot to read into that until we give them more time. I just want to note as well, after this tournament, you said this is the first tournament to use it, Pro League in week 2, which is the third week in duration, but there's no week this week, so it's week 2 of play. We'll switch to Inferno from removing Dust 2 as well. So they didn't want to do it first week right after the announcement. They thought it was a little bit too quick, which in fairness it probably was. But now that they've had a tournament with it, they're going to bring it in immediately after.
That's good though. That means online seasons, teams can actually experiment with it a little bit more and see if they want to actually see if that's a viable map for them going forward. I'm sure we're going to see a lot of Vitas. I'm surprised I haven't even saw it in the playoff here today.
Yeah, and agreed. But at the same time, I also think that the more we see it at this tournament, the better, because this is notes for Valve. They'll be able to look and say, okay, this didn't work, this does. Like I say, I think the wall at the top of Banana, I know that Kerrigan has talked about it. I know that a couple different people have talked about it. I think Glaive mentioned it perhaps, but you could sit with an auto sniper and basically fire down Banana, and no matter what, they have to cross that line of fire at some point in time if they want Banana control. So if you time it right, you should get damaged no matter what.
Well, the knife is underway. And I'm sure we'll be getting to this one very soon. Matt, if I had to push you for prediction, even if it was a trivial one, what would you say?
I think North form looks very good right now. Gambit, if they're going to win this game, they need more than just Zeus to do it. They need Mo and a Dren especially.
That was missing, wasn't it?
Absolutely. I think that depending on the form they're in, we'll get a clue. Or I want to say Gambit takes this. I want to see them win a map in a playoff, in a series, but overall I still think North is the favorite for the series.
If we think back to when Zeus was in Navi, when they played Inferno, right, they had the slowest playstyle on this one, especially Inferno. It was like their bread and butter. It would lend themselves to setting themselves up a little bit map control, get towards Banana, second middle, had a lot of execution potential. They'd always be executing towards the A side with like 15 seconds remaining. This team does that a lot as well. It's a very similar playstyle with Zeus at the helm. That's what I want to see. I'm very interested to see whether he brings that to the table, and I think the knife run has come in. It is going to be a CT start for North, so a quick huddle before we kick things off here. If they can close things out at 2-0, that'd be fantastic for them. Got a little bit scary there on Nuke towards the end. In the second half, they're going 5-0 down. But as soon as the AWP came out for Cajun B, he's in great form right now. He had a pretty rough tournament overall, the major. Like, he had to rely on his teammates to kind of get him back into the game. But he's looking like he's hitting all shots. And MSL, just to point out again, the in-game leader, often noted not to have the fragging potential of his teammates as well. He's been doing fantastic so far and actually wins in that last round with the Scout Pistol combo.
So underway we will get momentarily. North starting out CT side. You can see behind North's team huddle and group discussion, talking about how good they are at flyboarding with the exception of Cajun B. It's Gambit sitting and wait. They're in the server and rearing to go. They want to get this started.
I'm really interested to see how the pistol rounds go down on this map. It's always one of my favorite things to discuss, the tactics that are deployed in those sort of rounds. Just to talk about Banana as well, the terrorists have a rough time at the start of the round. The HE grenades are very powerful on this map to lock down any initial pushes coming in. It's a similar story. The Ts can do the nades back in return, but the CTs get there just before and cause a lot of damage and to deny the rush coming in. That's almost like counter the fact you can't do as many versatile smokes as you could in the previous version of Inferno. Remember, you could do all the smokes from deep in CT spawn over towards Banana and give your two teammates that play on that side of the map to actually a bit more time and save them a smoke as the round began. You still can do that, but you have to go a little bit more committed to the right-hand side of CT spawn to get a smoke at the top of Banana. It's not as effective as it used to be.
I'm just checking out right now. They're in warm-up, so there's no team damage on, but they're trying to spray through and spot the lines where you can't actually spray that half wall in Banana. Gambit's in there right now. Doji was sitting behind and saying where he was being hit and where the bullets were landing on the wall. So they're already flirting with that idea. I like that Banana's open. I also enjoy it, although it seemed to be an intentional idea at first. The width of the entry point from top Banana inside of the B site used to take more than one smoke to cover the entire thing.
Yeah, it got slightly adjusted.
Yeah, and it needed to. I think that was a little bit OP to have to put down that much utility when you could bait it out already with the additional time that was put on the clock over a year ago, I think, at this point. But yeah, it's important that you can cover that with one smoke.
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, map 2 of this best of 3. It's currently 1-0 in favor of the Danish side. North, Gambit trying to fight back on their map pick here, Inferno. It's a map we don't see very often, only played twice in a big tournament so far. This will be the third time. So, we'll have a look at the buy. 4 sets of armor, and it's going to be Zeus with 1 smoke and a flashbang as well. Just a note, Mo has got himself a P250 as well. I'm assuming Zeus dropped that for him. So he'll probably be the point man here going into it. And some aggression there. Cajun B trying to look towards second mid. Doesn't find anything, but he spots a couple of players to kick things off.
Starts well for Mo. He gets aggressive toward the top of alt middle, but they take over apartments. No indication of where they're going to go.
Just to note as well, MSL's by himself a Banana. So he's going aggressive here, using that range of the USP just to get the information, then he'll fall back.
It used to be very common. We'd see this when there was a smoke deployed from A. You could easily get away with it. You can't so much anymore. Now he spots it. This calls for rotation. Magisk, closest one to the arch side, has to be already aggressive on that rotation. He slows up slightly towards CT as MSL's not spotted anything further, but all 5 players from Gambit, they're inside of Banana. And they'll start their charge. Flash over. MSL partly blinded. Has to go in behind the coffins. And as he does so, Magisk tries to cover through a smoke that's put out on CT. So that goes toward the chapel. Former construction position. Good play from MSL. Holds off and takes down Mo. But bomb planted. Former default. Where the grill used to be. MSL spots one more crossing over. Hobbit gets to the corner. Not tagged up. More than 15 HP. So MSL, insignificant damage. Has to start going back in. 12 bullets. As he gets the reload in time, but look at his teammates. He gets 1 kill, he's got another, and they take down Hobbit in the back lines. No one there. All 5 stay up on a retake on B site.
Yeah, beautiful CS there. Great teamwork. Emerson not giving too much away. He's at the car at the start, doesn't overcommit, doesn't give the frag away. He falls back to the coffin's position, gets 1 kill, stays alive, waits for the rotations to come in from his teammates, keeps applying pressure as well. Yes, the bomb goes down, but they keep 5 players alive there, striking in together. Not really much that the Ts could do about it. It's very difficult to hold the B site if you have no utility whatsoever. They had 1 smoke, they used that to get into the bomb site, but MSL, he found his 1 frag, and AZ seems to be turning up as well. So 1-0, and no force buy, of course, from Gambit. In this round, they'll be bringing up AKs in the third, and you can see that's why it's quite a rifle-centric buy from North going into this one, preparing for the AKs in the third as well, and they have UMPs, so they're not getting the lesser SMGs like the MP7s or MP9s or anything like that. They want to make sure they're ready for the AKs coming up next. So this is a chance for Gambit to try and get a couple of kills. If they can get the bomb down, that'd be amazing for them right now, but just a couple of kills here or there, just to dent the economy of North, that would be enough as well.
So MSL, same position. AZ a little bit closer onto CT this time already.
Yeah.
MSL does spot another shoulder, but doesn't stay aggressive, at least yet. Take that back, though, because now he wants to start to push up the corner.
He's done enough now. He's done a bit of damage. He knows They're away, probably there by himself, so AZ gets called in as well. They set up a crossfire at this point. The bomb will be towards T-steps and Config. He finds a nice little shot there on towards Dozier. The UMP just taking down his unarmored players for now. A lot of damage inflicted. Adrenaline down to 28, 10 for Hobbit.
Zeus will go left side, former cart position. You have to boost there now to see above the smokes. Remember that, we saw it from Fnatic. MSL knows he's there, swings into the site, comes back out, spots Hobbit, straightforward. Pistol's not amounting to much. Config was tagged to 37 at the top of middle, but he already achieved 1 kill and funneled them back over toward Banana.
You can see in the minimap right now, very defensive over in the CTs, don't want to give a single frag away. Perfect time to drop that smoke as well. 30 seconds remaining. The T's are just going to have to wait for this to dissipate, then run through the game. They had no chance of really doing anything with it. They want to make sure they die here as well. I know that sounds a little bit silly, but if you die after the timer expires, and it means you get no money at the next round where they're getting the AKs out. So they just want to push through now, see if they can find 1 kill. Not meant to be, I don't think. MSL, he finishes off with a 4-man, and they keep all 5 players alive now, so that's actually perfect for North. But like we said, AK's coming out now from Gambit. This is where things start to get interesting. The thing is, they only can really get AK's head armor and no grenades. That's why Zeus, he's actually gone down to just a Tech 9 here to make sure they at least have 1 smoke to work with here on the T side. So many heavy choke points. When you're going into rifles as well, this would be a real rough round for them with such lack of utility. They have to rely very heavily on their superstar players here with the 4 AKs.
Zeus nade top mid, no one crossing close. They're all back behind A, wrapping around with Cajun going toward apartments. Poor chicken.
The crowd aren't happy with that.
I'm not happy with that. Unless they want to give me fresh meat tonight for dinner, I'm fine with it then. Keep in mind as well, one of the interesting things about this new apartment position, as we see them get pushing up, you just saw a hint of it to Dozier's right. The open window, or rather, I guess archways as they are, they're not even windows, but the openness of that apartment position, you can flash, pop flash into pit very effectively. And Dozier, I think, just threw it, or did that come over top? I'm not sure. But it's possible to do. And Cajun, even though he's looking away, it pops directly above where he's looking. So you can still fully blind up Cajun at this point too.
All the utility has been used by Gambit at this point. You can see MSL just doing a perfect job once again, smoking down just as they wanted to rotate back towards Banana. They have 1 flashbang remaining now on the T side, and they haven't really got any map control. They haven't got anywhere towards Banana. They haven't pushed up middle. They smoked off the left-hand side, but the CDs didn't react at all. They're actually playing a very defensive game. 1 in the bomb site, 2 in the pit. AZ watching at the very back of Arch as well. So nothing really gained so far for Gambit. They're going to have to maybe just walk into the B side. I think Zeus is going to try and find a frag there and just pull a rotation, but he doesn't even commit. They have to just walk up middle into the crossfires in this pit position with 30 seconds remaining.
And AZ's already rotated. He's at CT. He can hold off Arch and Library. Magisk. That new wall, the lack of their favorite call, the tall statue, which they called something phallic. No longer there, but he's got a hole inside of it. He's got the first shot towards Adren. Spots back out, takes Doji coming down through. Lack of flash, lack of nades, no chance. As the crossfire's established, Mo trying to do what he can with an AK, but nothing to find, and Config gets yet another inside of the site.
That's just perfect from North. MSL's doing such a fantastic job on that solo anchor position in the B site. He waits till about the 40-second mark, then he's dropping a smoke just as they wanted to come back towards B. They have to walk up middle at that point, and yes, they get a bit of map control. They get towards that quad position, but at that point they've got no nades, they've got no molotovs. They have to walk into the crossfires. May just flashes perfectly, takes 1 down, takes the aggro. His teammates on the bomb side as well. They've got a player in balcony. There's nothing you can do there. You need to have the smoke grenades and these molotovs to even get the CTs to face you. Otherwise, you're fully committing with 10 seconds remaining. You just don't have enough time to work the map and find the pits. 3-0 now in favor of North, and in terms of the buy, it looks like a forced buy. Okay, partial, leaving themselves about $1,000. They will be at 4 state loss bonus next round.
Yeah, maximum loss bonus for them, so they can afford to do this. 3,400 plus bomb plant if they can get that. Has to be.
Well, it'll be 4 state after this one, but yeah.
You're right. I'm sorry, math is hard.
We'll get you there.
The $800 would make it 38. Leave me alone. Magisk inside of the site's going to peek back around, spots it up. The Spate's in the crossfire, but he goes down early. Thankfully, Config's already rotated because Cajun's now down inside of the pit, but no bomb plant. So you are right. It is going to be only the 4th round, but they'll still be able to buy up into it.
Yeah.
Light of an AWP.
So that's fine. They kept themselves about $1,000 at that point. So getting 2,100 on top of that means they can get the AKs, but that lack of utility. I think they do get smokes this time. Having a look at it coming. So yeah, they have 3 smokes, which is a lot better. Pretty simple round though for North. It's starting off very well for them. After picking that first map nuke in quite convincing fashion. Yes, the scoreline was close, but they did win the first half on the T side 11-4. It was a decent comeback from Gambit, but there was never a doubt in my mind that North weren't going to pick it up. And here we go. A change of setup. They're actually going aggressive towards B. They wanted to push through that and actually go for the first pick there. AZ takes a lot of damage, running through the flames and an HE as well. So Gambit ready for that setup. It's been MSL by himself towards that side of the map, so they're trying to adjust themselves slightly there. Take a lot of damage for it, and AZ is getting ready to flash over MSL. He's waiting for that smoke to dissipate. I think as soon as that smoke goes down, the flash comes in. MSL goes for the face here, but he's taking damage. The flash needs to come now, AZ. Here it comes. Can MSL find the frags? There's the flashbang. Gets one. Looking for the second as well, but he can't do it. Does the damage. Takes Hobbit down to 7 HP, but the frag is returned quickly.
Massive damage. Mo tries to utilize the smoke at top of middle to cover off Config. It does force him on the rotation because the single kill on B. And AZ on 44, they don't want to leave him there alone. Hobbit goes back for the bomb. That brings time for rotations back his direction as well. He's going to throw that to Mo. What's Hobbit's plan on all of this? Low on HP, perhaps he becomes part of the fake if they go toward B. AZ still top mid. He wants to streak me top banana. He wants to peek it back. Molotov will hold him off, and he finds the kill on Mo immediately. That takes plans away. Hobbit was absolutely rotating over to A low HP, so he could sell himself and allow them in, but AZ getting that kill is going to funnel them all over toward A instead.
And they've got 2 players on either side of the map right now. The crossfires continue here. KGB spots 2 towards the quad. He's using the flashbang to this stage. He's got a player on the bomb side as well, just trying to take the aggro away for his teammate Magisk.
Inside of the site, he'll just wait for them to walk in, bait them toward Cajun. Even if he does go down, doesn't need to. Cajun covers off apartments, slips out, finds Doja at 5-0 now for North.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying this from North. This is this textbook Inferno play. Nothing changed too much in terms of the actual setups and the mentality to find those first picks, but MSL behind that car position, flashed over. It goes 1 for 1, and AZ knows he has to recover, get some information there, gets 1 kill, drops the incendiary, denies him actually chasing after him, funnels him back towards middle. That crossfire once again prevails. So
thus far, without AWPs coming in play from North, they're playing very passive on B, but it seems the openness of Pit combined with the new vision created inside of the site itself, the crossfires, oh, that's close, are extremely powerful, and they will get him. Hobbit goes through the smoke to catch off MSL, so good start. This will be fast onto B. But we're not seeing them yet push up toward front mid to try and get the shutdown at T-Stairs, and we're not seeing anyone play Boiler yet. We'll see if that changes based on how the pace is created by Gambit. Speaking of pace, it's still very fast with the pistols in toward B. Good shot from Hobbit as he picks up an M4. Problem is Doja is just picking up the bomb at the bottom of T-Stairs now. Does he fancy his chances going toward A? He's going to try and go toward B with his teammate there because he thinks it's best bet, but that also means rotation's already in play. Hobbit, smart to Chapel, is going to take down Cajun immediately on rotation. This now definitely means bomb play. Damn, but he's still going to cross over. Hobbit's not watching it. Magisk has a chance to shut down the bomb right now and does exactly that. Hobbit needs to repeat. Can't do it. Magisk gets both.
Just when it seemed like they had a huge advantage there, the problem is the bomb's down for so long in T-spawn. Doja, like he said, he could have gone all the way towards A. They didn't have the information at that point as to where the remaining CTs were. It's pretty much safe to say they're rotating towards B, but he wasn't sure. His teammate had control of the A site there. And at that point, he comes in, he has to cross over to the side. He didn't have the nade to actually deny the vision of Magis in CD spawn there. Hobbit did a great shot there. That was the moment there. As soon as he finds that kill, they have to challenge him, and Hobbit can't find the shot. 6-0 now, but they have managed to get a full buy here with the AWP on the T side.
Again, they'll go in behind the sandbags at the top of Banana. This time it was found by MSL. Hobbit last time jumped through. So he makes amends for that, but Doja's gone very quickly toward apartments. He's got 2 kills. He already started it off by finding Cajun B. He's been playing passive in the pit. This time they go aggressive. It costs them. The crossfire's not established. And nobody in trade position allows Adren to find yet another kill and leave AZ on a full flank rotation. Has to go down from it, and he's going to work from top mid. Bomb will be planted within the next 8 seconds. Hobbit's just getting outside of apartments now, but doesn't even need to be Gambit. Mo on the op finally gets something rolling. Their first round and 3 alive on a reset.
Yeah, that's good news for them. They have to reinvest in the grenades, of course, with 3 players staying alive. Should be able to, they have enough money going forward if they lose this round. So it was actually Config on the AW. I noticed this yesterday against Optic. He seems to be the main AWPer on the CT side of this map, which is obviously a bit of an adjustment. We're normally used to seeing Cajun, but we'll see what happens going forward. It's going to be 5 M4s. The money a little bit weaker than they would like, but Mo focusing towards middle here. Not going to have the challenge just yet. The grenades come in once again. Zeus fought the brunt of it in the previous round. He goes down to 58 HP once again. I described this in the pre-game. Those grenades on the CD side can be very powerful.
Just to note, we talked about the lack of ability, or I guess, as you used to be able to smoke bottom of Banana from the A side as a CT player on this map. You can't do it anymore. Config stayed in spawn, went almost to Chapel to smoke it, so that MSL and AZ do still have a smoke. So same effect, but it leaves him further from A.
It's a quite heavy commitment from him, and it can't go as deep. It can go to the top, it can't go to the bottom anymore. So yes, you can do it, but it's just not as effective as it used to be.
And we see the effects of that because they immediately walked around and started to take over tree where the log position used to be. So AZ and MSL will redress at least 1 smoke. AZ still has his to work with, as well as a Molotov. 57 seconds could be a factor. Zeus, you mentioned it with Na'Vi, was a very slow player on this map.
Yeah.
They're going to leave it to the op for Mo to open this up.
This was classic Navi style. Guardian, we'd be working with the AWP, trying to find this opening pick. They'd really wait for it as well, see if he could find anything. This boost is always very good. MSL can look above the smoke here, but it is a pre-fire for the terrorists. It'd be a blunder if they didn't check this.
Boost is known, but MSL shoots straight down. They don't check it at all. He's able to rotate back through Chapel, can try and hold off from the back lines, get toward AZ, but smokes off on both those positions. And they are inside of the site. Gap instead. Smoke though, and that's MSL's invitation. Gets one headshot lineup. Hobbit finds it in return. But he needs to get above and inside of the site. Orange lines indicate exactly where to plant. They make that extremely easy these days. This Magisk starts to inch ever closer. He's going to get aggressive. He wants to just fight his way in. 1 versus 2. Goes for a smoke defuse on it, and Hobbit's still there.
It was actually looking very promising for North at that point. As soon as MSL took down the AWP, I thought he was going to wait. And there's like 15 seconds left on the clock. He gets back in towards Ruins. This makes things uncomfortable with the terrorists, but he faces it once again, and his teammate goes down on the other side of the map. And Gambit do find 2 rounds in a row here, and I think they've broken the money down of North. 6-2, and Desert Eagles and USPs is all North have to work with here. Certainly the Danes are known to be very good with the Desert Eagles, but up against this sort of buy, I'm not so sure it's going to be working out for them. Molotov towards top of Banana to stop the CDs pushing down. This will be a default. Gambit know the money's going to be low.
So 3 players at said top of Banana to start it off as well. Cajun, balcony of B, wants to set to bait in Magisk or vice versa. But Bomb will slow up, as you say, with default for Gambit. They know the situation to try and get these picks early on and figure out exactly what antics North have up their sleeve. They've tagged MSL to 11 as well. But now Doja starts to lead off for information on the other side of the map.
Yeah, at this point, they've worked out just default pistols and a couple of deagles here. Stick together, get that mid control, which they're aiming for first here. Check every angle. Use the smokes if you have to at this point, but once you've got boiler control, and you made around Arch as well, obviously a very long-range position. You need to clear out garbage here.
Nice shot. Timing was everything on that config, just slipping in. Smoke off. They have library. They'll know there's going to be a rotation still from B. They've got one of the 2 players down inside of A. They haven't spotted Magisk yet. He's going to wait this at Graveyard and try and surprise them, catch them off. He can't be spotted from inside of that position where Hobbit was going, top of balcony, inside a pit. The new opening in that doorway makes it much easier. AZ tries to do what he can with the deagle, which is absolutely nothing. Gambit, they find their 3rd in a row.
I wouldn't mind it right now if they get the AWP back out on maybe config. They're not going to do it and actually send him towards Banana. That seems to be a heavy choke bomb at the start of the map for Gambit. They're trying to get that control, push the CDs back. They're going aggressive. Maybe that would be the adjustment, but they can't quite afford it for now. You can see they get 5 M4s, but no kits here. That can be a bit of a problem, of course. And 5 M4 A4s across the board here. 1 incendiary to work with. And once again, Hobbit molotoving towards top of Banana, denying any sort of aggression from the CTs.
Smoke down to hold MSL this time. Magisk and config going for a more standard setup off the start of it. Magisk at Diggity and config over toward, yes, you're welcome, Chad, at Arch, just at the crossfire for top mid, but they back off together. They'll set for a passive crossfire as they have done multiple times inside of the site. Magisk and config together on A with crossfires. That's about the last place in the world I want to walk into.
We'll see. It's that defensive hold once again. No one challenging towards top and middle at all. Config patrolling towards Arch and Magisk and Cajun once again using that bomb site and the pit itself to allow them to have that insane crossfire. But Magisk wants to hunt for a fragger. They're lacking a bit of intel here, so he'll be baited in. Could be flashed around the corner and does face towards Boiler. Takes down Dosia. Takes a lot of damage, but he will be falling back here.
Config waits as well inside of Cubby. But a boost above smoke. This is what we talked about, the lack of cart. They have to see inside of the site. Now this is how they do it. And smartly they do it in the corner. Yesterday, Fnatic tried at the spot toward Coffins, and it left them very open. By going in the corner, it protects the player boosting, and Hobbit can control the peak, just spotting in and out with his shoulder. No more gap at new box. So you can't spot the headshot in that position. Hobbit tries to wrap around, makes it by. And MSL picks up his teammate Zeus before, or rather, excuse me, right after he gets AZ, but now he's stuck at New Box, has to smoke himself back in toward Oranges too. He's completely surrounded. Mo's taking down the first line of rotation as well. Config falls, and Hobbit gets the kill. They follow it up. And another round, 4 in a row now for Gambit.
That's quite nice from Gambit overall. You can see they've got a solid game plan here again. That's so methodical stance, getting their apartments control, middle as well, pushing the CTs back. Mages found 1 kill, but then at that point, they actually fell all the way back, walked into B. And it was quite an interesting setup North had there, boosting on top of Old Oranges and towards New Box as well. The player jumps towards CD Spawn, goes down, but just gets enough information for his teammates, especially Mo, to start finding the frags here. And it's going to be another eco for North. Desert Eagles CZs, 1 HE grenade, no particular stack coming in. There are 3 players towards B, and it's MSL to try and find the first 1 DK here. Going to be a very difficult shot, but you know what? No problem at all. Takes down the AWPer as well. Crazy.
That's about as good as it gets.
Yep.
Take down the op with a Deagle, get away for free, and
that's the problem with holding that angle as an AWPer. It's just a pre-fire for the CT strike. It's not necessarily crazy aim. It's like you just know the angle.
And here we go. MSL now has 2 on his Deagle. He's backing out of Arch as well. This will pull AZ over toward front library. He stays inside the site. He thinks better of it. But MSL's being dynamic. Gets the kill on B. Knows that likely they're going to start to probe out A. And immediately gets a kill there. Goes back to B where they arrive. But he's low on HP at this point. So his effectiveness might be rendered to trades at best. And that trade would come off of Config, who's going to peek together. They're both side by side. MSL's got 3. It's exactly that. Trades out on Config. And they're going to push around, but they don't want to overcommit. It's only Adren and Doja remaining. So if they overcommit, they go down. It's as simple as that. New Box, Doja, Adren, Coffins. He's got them open. He wants to try and place someone inside of them. He's going to have to use all 4 of the Coffins in that position. Nade, lobbed in, takes MSL, smart play, turns around. There's Magisk as well. He's got a chance. No guns picked up, no armor, and no kits. But he's got to find the angles behind Statue. They tag him up. He's low, and down he goes. It's MSL that starts it. Cajun that'll close it.
MSL with 3 kills. A fantastic shot towards T-steps. He gets 3 in total, and then that's just really creative play from North there. Using the T-smoke, they actually threw towards CD Spawn against him. He boosts up and manages to find the frag towards New Box. Here's the replay right now. As I said, a pre-fire. Just steps out, nails that first shot, and he does really good work here. Going back towards middle, then back towards B, just funneling where he wants him to go. And like you said, a decent trade at this position as well. Teammates goes down. He finds the frag at North. Find round number 7 there with 2 Deagles and default pistols. Pretty cool stuff on them. A double AWP setup though on the T side of Inferno. That's a strange call in my opinion, but we'll see whether that works out for them. We haven't seen a lot of this map. Maybe it's very viable. We'll see whether they can actually deploy much. It was quite rare to see an AWP on the T side of old Inferno, really. Only some specialists could do it. Double AWP was very rare indeed.
It's true. A lot of teams used to elect to run 5 rifles on Inferno on the T side religiously. Molotov down, that's the second one deployed in Banana. Another one close to, they pushed through. Hobbit gets out of tree and steps into the flames, doesn't get out of it as well as he tries to get to the cubby, and he goes down before they walk into his crosshair. He was hoping they were gonna get aggressive. Instead, they'll go for a boost on the new half wall, which you could not formerly do. But they backed off Banana early. They're going to boost up MSL on the flower pots at CT Connector, and AZ goes inside of the site. So passive cross, but it's over toward the A side. Arch in specific, that Adren is going to start to head, and Config, he's just given up that position to help support Magisk inside of the site.
Yeah, well, he's actually left Arch open here. If he goes to the face at this point, could be very detrimental towards him. Made this with a lot of pressure from apartments as well.
Config's got to get inside the site to protect his back from wraparound potential, which is now coming in. He's gone down already. Magisk, they know exactly where he is. Mistimed flash though. Doja can't peek. Doja can't peek on a mistimed flash. If they didn't hit that, they both go in and they traded. He gets 2, and that's all due to a slight miscommunication on Gambit's side. It's now Adren that has to make up for it all, as he's got the bomb planted. AWP inside of the site. Kenny-esque, as it used to be on this site. Post-plant, ops staying in close quarters. They're going to go together. Timing on. Adren nails the first shot. A chance to reset his aim, as well as AZ still trying to push up from Diggity, and Adren's going to sit back. Scoped it already and hits both. Makes up for the big misplay and gets them the 5th round.
Looked like Magisk had done enough there, but the 2 versus 1. Adren looking very calm there and using the AWP in a fantastic fashion. 4 frags in total. That first one he gets as MSL's trying to bait out the shot for AZ. Did he actually take the shot? That was actually very important.
And Magisk gets a gift, but this is lovely. That shot doesn't hit that, he's done.
Yeah, that was a refrag all day long. And AZ, he doesn't really have any utility. He has to just walk in and hope for the best. Adren faces him at the perfect time. And we have a technical pause at this point from North. In terms of the buy, they could do what they wanted to. 2 players on 5K, 3 on 2,000. So it's not really worth it at this stage. It's a TeamSpeak issue from what I can see. North still out the lead there, but Adren, he's been the poster boy for Gambit in recent months, had a fantastic major and seems to be continuing that form. That was a lot of big question mark above his head going into this one. Could he replicate that form from the major and bring it to here, DreamHack Masters? And he certainly has been delivering so far. The on pause comes in. Just a quick technical issue there, and it looks like an eco for North. Back to the single AWP setup. More traditional on the T side here. Dren throws it back over to Mo, who of course is the main AWPer. 5 rounds obtained so far, and okay, the buy does come in. I thought they would be ecoing this. They're going to have 2 rifles, a UMP, a 5.7 and a Deagle. To be fair, the Deagles won the round single-handedly before. There's the HE grenades going in. Doesn't do as much damage as before, but MSL wants to get that boost going once again. And they make it work perfectly. Mo walks out, taken down immediately. Teams need to start considering that as a very real possibility. It's Hobbit that will go back over to where his teammate perished and try and line up with the op that Mo dropped. Potentially throw the same nades from said position. Check the sandbags quickly, spray through barrels. Molotov extinguished by AZ and a flash through aggressive from the CTs. Yeah, well, they have to make something happen here. They get that boost in. It is very effective. That same smoke you talked about, that config throws to them, it allows them to be boosted up. It's not a one-way, but it certainly creates a veil. He gets the first pick, and now they have the 5-on-4, and a difficult round for them as well. Dosia on the other side of the map, trying to show presence towards apartment, see if he can pull a rotation over. But for now, 2 players still in towards that banana position. That's AZ and MSL. And MSL, New Fountain, is going to sit and let them walk in. Headshot, potentially. It's got. I mean, he got 3 last time on the Deagle. One of them was a headshot to start it off. Doesn't land it. Hobbit's there with the AWP, but he gets taken down immediately after by AZ, who flashes into the corner to buy himself some space. Remember, you can spray through that stained glass with no problem, with ease. He's going to try and do it. Can't quite line up anyone on the other side, so bomb gets planted, former default. And Adren will hold top banana with a smoke off to his left. Needs to hit the shot, though. Magisk winning that duel. It's all down to Zeus. He was big in the last game. He's tagged already to 16. No chance. Config gets it. North get 8. Really nice stuff. This attack team combo of AZ and MSL at the B side has been so impressive so far. So dynamic. They're changing their kind of roles up every single time. A nice hybrid of passive and then these creative boosts coming in as well. That's to open things up. The smoke comes down. They find the actual first pick at the tree area. You can see Gambit didn't see it coming at all, and that's what they needed to find at the start of the round. Limited by only a couple of M4s and pistols as well. They get the pick. They fall back, establish the crossfires, and AZ is doing a good job. He gets 1 kill, waits for his teammates to rotate in. As chucks a flash in, just make sure he stays alive, and as his teammates kept rotating for Banana as well. Really nice pincer onto the bomb site, and now economic pressure going towards Gambit. They have 3 rifles with 2 pistols as well. Smoke's coming in. That's the smoke we've been talking about towards that car position. MSL will be using it to go a little bit more aggressive this time. And Config rotates back over toward Arch. So Gambit seemed to be struggling most at getting banana control and not really figuring out the subtle nuances that the counter-terrorists now have. The boost at the half wall, which could see through that smoke if they elect to use it. The spray downs and the aggression that AZ continues to put onto them. It does it again. It's a Molotov that burns them alive. The stacked Molotovs inside of Banana. It makes a path of fire, and you have to think, do I just fall back to T-spawn or I push through? And the first one drops that, so you think, oh, I'm going to commit, I'm going to try and get the pick here. But the second one lands just after it, and you're just completely done for at that point. 2 burn alive. That's perfect from North. It's extremely clever. And this is, again, the problem at Banana. They're just getting outthought, outplayed. AZ fitting in very well to the role. Back on North, playing with MSL, the in-game leader, who leads the way on 14 kills, by the way. I think we do have a player at the sandbag. No, we don't. Okay, the CTs have fallen back all the way in, and they've got the first 2 kills. That's all they have to do. Dosia, once again, lurking towards middle, but it's very difficult to do anything with the Galil here. If he hits the shot on Config, though, forget the other 2 in A. He'll wrap through CT. And that has to be the goal. Walks out, doesn't even consider Config to be in that position, so forget that approach. They're going to walk inside of the B site together. Just 2 remaining, and Adren traded by AZ at Emo. Flash out to try and get some vision away from Mo, and it works to some extent. Not sure how blinded he was, but it doesn't matter. 9-5, North on Gambit's curve. Their joker in the map pick. Yeah, B's so strong for North right now. MSL and AZ doing such a fantastic job there. And nice little set piece that we said. The first Molotov goes down to force the T's to commit to try and get the banana control. Then the second one comes a few seconds after. And at that point, there's so much fire to run through. 2 players burn alive. That's so rare. And we go into the 15th round. Tech9's 1 Galil, and they're changing things up. They're going aggressive. This is when you know they've got low money. Change things up. Get the first pick as well. Stay for a little bit longer. And they're going to be mowing them down. Config and MSL doing a fantastic job here. Hobbit does reply, but it looks like the round is over. And first time we've seen any aggression in mid from the CTs. They do it against an eco. They don't even give them a chance to set up, and Magisk will close out the rounds. Config 15 kills. MSL the same. Everyone fragging very well for North, and 10-5 start CT side. Now again,
It is a new map. We don't know 100% what to read into it. I won't rule out the possibility of a comeback, but Gambit struggled so much for Banana Control, and North, knowing how to close that down, will know what to expect.
Indeed, that was really exciting to watch. Actually, very interesting to see that North can actually have those different setups, and like we saw, that they have that aggressive one in the bank as well. Just when you know, in the old Inferno, NIP used to do that a lot as well, especially when you knew they're going to be down to just pistols. They would do that just to kind of send a message out to shut down any sort of eco execution you had in mind, find those kills straight away, and it's a great way to finish off a half as well. It's like scoring a goal in football just before half-time, right? You set a really aggressive, clean sweep round, and they just can't do anything. They're shut out of it, and go 10-5, double figures. I think that's a really good scoreline for North.
Gambit looking a little sleepy, perhaps. Doja waiting to get back into this. We're going to get underway any second. That's a these stats, I think, paint very vibrant pictures because you think about momentum. 2-5 for Pistols versus North's 8-3.
Gambit did pick up the pistol in the first half of this map. They actually went on a 6-0 win streak as well. We'll have a look at the buy for North on the T side here. 4 sets of armor. AZ, he's the utility player. 1 smoke, 2 flashbangs. No upgraded pistols for the T side. And it's going to be 4 sets of armor and a diffuse kit on the CT side here as well. A little bit aggressive there from Hobbit towards the end of apartments. Major's looking to hunt him down here. Hobbit has the advantage, but has to fall back as he misses the first shot.
And jump baited out. Falls back. Flash comes through. They just nail him. He's down already, but it's Zeus in the sight. Next line of the fence. Wrapping around, dropping bomb. Smart play as he stays in cover, walks back out. Down goes AZ. And if they were 2-5 in pistols, they might improve that with a third right now, or will they? What a shot config.
Wow.
As Mo just gets ripped apart. He's got it down to a 1 versus 2. Spots the first player front library, but Doja not going to get aggressive on the peak. We'll take him down when he does pop back out.
Very fast push there in the apartments on the T side. And it's Zeus to save the day. He's on the bomb site, running out of bullets there. Hits some nice little one shots with the USP, 3 in total. And Config gave it a good go there with the Glock. This shot coming up was pretty nuts. That one to take down Mo. Lovely stuff, but there it is. Gambit pull around back. And it will be the force buy. No bomb planted for North, so Tech9's PT50s, nice little run boost there.
Styling Doja,
yeah,
styling.
That works.
Is he scripting? Admin, I think he's scripting. Cajun will wait with Tech9. Spots inside of Banana. I think you may have seen Doja behind the barrels. I didn't quite catch, but either way, it's the guns getting aggressive. 4 UMPs.
Well then, in terms of the options here for North, Tech9's PT50, they have a couple of smokes here, so if you want to go towards Banana, he's smoking off towards CD spawn and the coffins area, flashing over, running in 1 by 1. Or up towards middle and trying to smoke off left-hand side of mid and maybe in front of the pits, and hopefully overwhelm with the running gun potential of those Tech9s. So plenty of time to work with here, bleeding out the CTs of any utility they may have. That's an incendiary dropped towards the bottom of Banana, and this is looked like the first tactic I speculated with. Smoke the coffins, smoke CD spawn, flash over, and here come the smokes right now. Dosia will be smoked out. He can jump on top of the coffins though if he wants to and have vision still.
Now slightly better angle, leaves him vulnerable. The coffins with rockets inside of them, that's how I want to be buried, Henry. Put a rocket in my coffin. Doja popping back out, does get damage in to allow Mo to collect the shot on MSL. The Dren now forced off on Orange's 1, is going to get pinched in by AZ as they wrap around him. Just toward Newbox, that smoke still on CT. Is going to allow them to plant the bomb. He's got a UMP upgrades as he runs back forward as well. Tech9 with AZ will drop off of back emo box because it gives him vision, but the flash through gives him kills. Perhaps 2, not quite. Most sprays back, holds true, 3 versus 3, but they're buying time on this hold in the post plant. Spotted up his config. They can't get the kill. He goes back into the corner. He doesn't need to repeat this. That forces them to have to go aggressive. But Hobbit's going to elect otherwise because they know at least 1's in Banana, not necessarily 2. They can potentially get on top of it. 4 HP for Mo, forget it. North, they should be able to pick up this round now as Mo. He's got a kit, but he's got to get the kills immediately.
Nice.
Config is toying with them.
Yeah, that's the win right there.
Round over. That is amazing from Config.
Yeah, really well done. So disciplined. He knew exactly what he had to do to win that round. That was the last protocol for the CT. Fake defuse. He knows what Config is. He shoulder peeked at the perfect time. Baits out a shot. Survives. Round done. And that's a very simple execution there from North. Gambit can't hold it off, as we said. A smoke towards the coffins and towards CT spawn as well. When they were in Dignitas, they were known for actually going into bomb sites before the smokes bloom. They did that again. They're running in, baiting the CTs to maybe fall back a little bit there, and it buys them a bit more time when the smokes actually do land. With the retakes, it'll be very difficult with the CTs when they come back in. Forced by in return though, Gambit coming to max 7. happens. Deagles and CZs trying to replicate some MSL glory here. It's going to be Adren with that Desert Eagle toward Banana. Takes the face, doesn't pull the trigger just yet.
He may have got a headshot on that because it was 2 side by side. It was easy picking. It's Cajun that cops the nade onto 50. He'll back slightly and hold true as they get set for a take on B. Smokes go a little bit deep for Doja. He's going to move anyway. Elect to go toward Emo, perhaps bait them in Adren. Trying to do so, and Mo, shotgun, gets aggressive, goes right through the smoke and backs away. Fades before they can find him. He gets 1 kill as well, but it's the other 2 inside of the site that fall. That creates the bigger problem because now the bomb will easily go down from Cajun. And Mo's on 13 with the shotgun, is already saving because they have to. They can't afford the next round. Watch out, Hobbit. Wants to try and get exit kills, but Magisk was smartly waiting for them.
Very cheeky from Mages. Takes down another scalp of Gambit now, so they'll be saving a max 7 in the CZ. It's not an ideal situation. It's not really like it's going to be too influential to the next round. They should be on full eco. And they won the pistol here. It's a great tech round. And Mages just ruthless right now. Wants to hunt down every last man here for Gambit. And it's going to be Mo. 13 HP. Just quivering in the pit here, hoping to stay alive with that max 7. And I would say at this point, maybe not worth hunting him down. They've actually managed to secure the round. 1 player saving a weapon. And it's a max 7 as well. It's not going to be a huge deal. So that's fine. 4 players survive. North looking very good right now. Favoring towards that B position, pretty much exactly what we saw in the second round. Same smokes, flashbangs in, and managing to trade frags effectively.
So doubling up 12 rounds for North over the 6 of Gambit. And the shotgun for Mo with the armor he saves is the only thing left available to them in this round. He picks up a smoke and a flash as well.
At this point, North know the money's going to be very low. No one needs to overcommit. Just treat this like a full default. Gain some map control. B's normally the first, or I should say Banana's normally the first port of call here. Adren trying to do what he can with the Deagle. Molotov that over advantageous position. Still full back, so now North can get that. Once you have this position, then you can go back towards middle, do the same treatment there. Let's take everything away from the CTs. Any choke point, their control over that stage. So there you see, Config and MSL will be holding Banana. AZ, Magisk, and Cajun holding middle for now. Seeing it as a reaction now, the CTs have lost that part of the map.
Ooh, Doja pushing Config at the car position already. It's obviously not an automobile anymore, although it looks more functional than the one that used to be there. Just turn those barrels into wheels and roll them down, Banana. Roll them right over top of the terrorists at this approach because MSL is going to wrap around the corner, walk straight into Doja's USP. Cajun makes up for it.
Fully blind, Ozia manages to find a frag there, but it is a 3-on-2 and the shotgun has gone down. Just P250s now. And they make their way towards B. Zeus, he's been so good in this series. Maybe this is a bit much of a tall order as he does go down. Cajun B finds him through the smoke down. This poor old Hobbit. He'll be towards top middle as the bomb's planted. That's round over, so 13-6 will be coming in. There will be money available for the next round, but not a huge amount. Dozier could
Second
drop
time
an orb.
Hobbit, by the way, is pushed down mid to get exit, and Magisk has been waiting for him.
Well, and this is that bottom position, yeah. Okay, the buy's coming in. I don't think they'll buy the AWP. It's going to be a UMP for Zeus. 3 and 4 so far. Dozier has to go down to a FAMAS here. 1 kit. Hobbit's actually got, okay, boost body armor. I thought he wasn't going to get utility instead of the armor, but it's looking very promising now for the Danish side. They've been phenomenal so far. And this is why they wanted to play this map this tournament. You can see they have got a lot of work done so far, and it's a great map to have as a wild card.
Smoke off in front of Mo as they wrap toward Diggity instead of covering off Arch. That's going to leave him rendered useless. He's got to back up and support Hobbit. And they stack up B with a fast play toward A from North. This is a chance to walk into the snipe, but they've got to bypass Hobbit. Traded, it works. But Mo's there, steps out, and at least catches off Magisk before he burrows into the pit. A much more open pit than it used to be. So we'll see if that starts to change post-plant decisions. Good play from Zeus. Lovely shot from AZ to catch him back inside of the smoke. As he and Cajun now set together, and Cajun's going to wait inside of apartments. Doesn't have vision of the bomb, but he can... Oh, I take it back, he does. I thought it was on the other side of the box for a safe plant, but he's got perfect vision of that bomb from the doorway, so he doesn't even need to peek. He can play this off of AZ alone. Spots one more wrapping around. And he sits back
Molotov
behind
still.
the wall. Molotov to cover it, as you mentioned. Timing is now, but he misses the Molotov. He's got to hit shots, and Adren takes him down. Gambit's going to pick up another round finally.
They do have a kit, but if he gets that Molotov down and it lands on the bomb, round over. And it's still going to be very close. They just about got it.
10-second defuse.
Oh,
what? That's a huge misplay. They had a kit and they decided not to. They thought they had it on 10 seconds. They had it at 7 seconds when the kid was standing beside him, and they thought, no, we've got, that's a huge, huge, huge letdown from Gambit.
Tilt time. You're right. They picked up a kit. I was about to take it back. I said, okay, they do have a kit now. If he gets the Molotov on the bomb, round over. But they do make a huge misplay. You're right. As soon as it's defusing, there was 7 seconds left. The guy with the kit's right next to him. He needed to get off it right there and then. The defuse would have worked out. But it doesn't. cajunb doesn't even have to work hard for it. The misthrown Molotov actually wins in the round. 2 Max 7, 3 M4.
That's series done. Calling it. You can't recover from a tilt like that. You're low on money. You force into this with 2 shotguns. If they pull back from that, hats off to them. That is a letdown.
Yeah, those are the most frustrating kind of rounds to lose as well. You're on a weak buy. You get all the kills required. And you do have the defuse kit as well, but someone's made a miscommunication, and AZ's are continuing his strong form so far. It takes down Zeus in the apartments with so much time to spare as well. The reaction has to come in. It's just not the firepower to do it with right now. 1 player left towards B. They're going to try and push all their chips towards the A side here.
That's just ridiculous. If it's that close, just get off it. There's a kid there, no matter what. Magisk will set and wait for smoke to go toward the A site. He has bomb beside him in the hands of MSL, and AZ's already in toward Boiler. Mo with the shotgun could catch that off. If he gets in toward the stairwell, it's a good position to be in, but as he gets there, AZ's already pushing up the hallway. He'll burrow in, try and turn around when they walk out from top mid. Knows they're close. Molotov was low and thrown, but they're backing away. He gets at least the information to call that. And Adren hasn't yet left this. Oh, now it's done anyway, even if they want to rotate.
That was really sick though. Look at that execution. There's a full wall of smokes there, apartments, and the whole pit is covered as well. One player jumps out, focuses on that position in the pit, the tight corner, finds a kill. They already have the man advantage. It's round over. Now they can just use the Molotovs to hold it off. Series point going to be obtained here. Adren's just holding towards Library, and Dossier so far removed.
Did they land the former Liquid Adren, not to confuse you with Gambit Adren, the smoke that lands on Haystack? I didn't see if they threw that.
I saw it from my POV. I didn't see if that smoke landed, but there was 1 in apartments and then 2 in front of the pit, like a complete veil for a player to jump out and just focus on one area.
Good shot, cajunb. 1 to find. It's Adren trying to save the M4 perhaps inside of the library. But this is going to be map and series point for North at 15-6, when it easily could have been money gone from North, and we would have been playing potentially to 13-8. So all but done. Sound cue chimes, map point.
The only good news we can really talk about now, Adren stays alive and saves the M4. He had $5,600 on top of that, so he can drop an AWP. Maximum loss winners for his team, so they can buy into this. It's not amazing, 2 UMPs for the AWP, glass cannon for Mo. Let's see if he can find some form here in potentially the last round as they go towards B. Smokes and nades go over. UMP to challenge at the start, but North are going to be very wary this round. They don't want to give anything away. They just want to work out what kind of weaponry Gambit have. Just fill the map out a little bit. Not even going to be going towards Banana to kick things off. And a big nade comes in, takes Cajun down to 43 HP.
Adren desperately spraying through the smoke, backs away, leaves Doji there momentarily, but he'll go the same direction toward the site. Look at the jump up. As MSL and Config work together and get damage toward them, but doesn't really land much. In fact, cajunb comes out worse on 43 as he takes bomb back down toward T stairs. Now wait with banana control. That brings Hobbit over to support his 2 teammates inside of the B site. They rely on that rotation based on the fact that Zeus plays close to Boiler. Mo sitting on Diggity as well is going to watch them to make sure they can't get top mid. If they go behind them, they'll turn, that's fine. It's Magisk that'll be the one alone trying to figure out and solve that riddle. He's got to be careful, no utility, doesn't walk into Mo's crosshair, but meanwhile, it's Gambit stepping up tall. Adren with 2, Hobbit with 1, and Zeus with the other. The rotation pays off, it's AZ left alone, and he's got the bomb to walk into his sight. Spots 1 more jumping across, that's Hobbit, but he's low on HP. And evades in the smoke, wrapping around. AZ's gonna get caught by the rotations from B if he's not careful, or excuse me, from A if he's not careful. At this point, he's desperate. Yeah, I'd say it's over.
There's a player in the back as well who should deny the plant. Oh, just about. But yeah, AZ trying to do what he can. He flashes through CT spawn there, tries to catch the players off guard. If he finds 2 or 3 kills there in that sort of situation, even if he doesn't win the round, this could cause some damage. That would be fantastic. But North still with money to buy here. Full buy comes in, 5 AKs and a full array of utility as well. The Gambit hold on just about. It's going to be 8 rounds in a row required here on the CT side to take us to overtime. North just need to find 1 to secure a place in the semi-finals.
Oh, waiting for the aggressive op. We didn't see this at all from North. Top mid, that's perhaps why we didn't see it. Cajun just absolutely punishes it.
It's such a difficult angle there. You can only see the head just about. The T's waiting for you to face as well. And Dren, okay, through the smoke towards T steps. Config, he gets caught out.
We say Mo's been struggling to get rolling on the op. A shot like that from Cajun. In the first half, MSL rips him off with a deagle as soon as he pops out with the pre-fire on Banana. Kind of hard when you're just getting wrecked every single time you peek. AZ, meanwhile, is going to drop back down top of alt middle. It's MSL and Cajun waiting at the T stairs. They're not committing yet towards Banana, but Adren, he's alone on that side of the map. If they get this kill, it's still far removed from the site. There's time for the rotation, but it gives them a ton of map control. Good play from Adren. Oh, tag tonight barely gets away.
Yeah, he's got the AK-47, so he's feeling confident there. He's hitting a lot of shots in this series. When you have the AK at the city side, obviously gives you the one-tap potential. Knows he needs to make something happen. He gets the pick. Yes, he takes a lot of damage for it, but he does have the advantage. And Zeus rotating him with the AWP. Quite rare to see him with this weapon, and apparently it's not a problem. Takes down AZ.
Play from Zeus. Oh, better shot, Magisk. Adren down Zeus, tries to time the smoke cross. Bomb's gonna be planted. Man advantage with Kits on 2. With Kits on 2. Doji, don't you dare touch that bomb. Even though he was the one that wanted to last time. As Magisk will cover off on Banana, spots the rotation from Hobbit, but lovely shot leaves just Cajun B remaining. And he's trying to get aggressive to spot towards CT as the smoke will dissolve. Shoulder bait out, doesn't land it, and Doja hits it. This time you've got time for the 10-second, but please let it get to it. Hobbit's got it.
Well, yeah, Gambit managed to do it. It's going to be Adren with 2 kills there. Left alone towards Banana. Very confident stuff, not giving in just yet. That first shot through the smoke. Obviously, there's another pre-fire. I discussed that in the first half as well. That's what MSL was doing in pre-firing. That was a deagle. A lot of teams will hold that angle and stop the CTs trying to push down, but can get caught out sometimes with the pre-fires there. So North can take a partial buy here. This is absolutely fine. Their second stage loss bonus. They don't need to force into these rounds. They have still 6 points ready to go. It's absolutely fine.
So fast pace with pistols toward the apartments. All 5 bust out. Maybe not quite. No, wrap. And split 3 toward the boiler. That will evade Mo's vision. He pops out late to realize they've gone there because he hears them coming out, but it's Hobbit stepping up. 2 for him. Look for the headshot on the 3rd. Gets it, but goes down. Actually, I take that back. You get the assist. Zeus found it, who now has his 2nd. And looking for the 3rd and final. Mo's going to rob him of that, but it doesn't matter. The rounds are more important. 15-9. They're still hanging on.
There it is. The buy comes in once again. North manages to get the full buy. AK-47s, all the grenades required as well. Most on the AWP. And we're starting to see Adren starting to step up here. Hobbit has got 19 kills as well, leading the charge for Gambit. Let's see whether they can somehow get it to overtime. Such a tall order, but he's got to take it round by round. And so far, Gambit, now things are stabilized, looking a lot stronger here.
Doge, yep. Nade in hand is going to bounce that, so it goes further down toward the open doorway that leads to Banana, rather than the tree itself. As AZ jumps his way inside boiler. Hobbit will hold off on apartments at the end of the hallway if they go that direction. He and Magisk, AZ and Magisk working together to try and accomplish that map control. It's AZ they've been putting inside boiler every single time. Mo with a line of sight on the op. He's going to get smoked off and tries to fire in. Nade's going to be slightly late as well. That goes behind them. Easy at the doorways, waiting to see if there'll be a pushback from Zeus. Hobbit will stay on the balcony. He's got a bit of vision, but elects to fall away. He wants to get them further committed before anything else can happen. And then Molotov there. Flash from Zeus. Double flash, though. Comes back the other direction. I think AZ bounced one off that caught him, so he's got to go back inside of the site. That gives up the plan. Config, the only one to take damage in all of this, is going to be changed immediately. Good flank down. Doja pushes. They have the bomb dropped. MSL, he'll get back into Mo inside of the site, but watch Zeus because Config's busy. Bomb's down. Zeus is wrapping in. They've got a lot of work to do to recover the bomb, and Hobbit leaves it as just MSL. Hobbit doubles up on that. So Gambit showing us their CT side is actually not bad. The problem is that mistake has left them so dire because it's still map point. Well, they're playing for overtime.
Dosia pushing Banana at such an opportune moment. They have no idea it's coming. It's AZ that goes down first. Cajun B tries to rectify things, but gets taken down as well. 3 kills in total for Dosia. Maybe North taking a little bit too much time there and allowing that full flank to come in. It will be another eco now, and 15-10. Gambit closing the gap here, trying desperately to take us to overtime. They already lost the first map here, so last chance to loot as we go into round number 26 here. Just PT-50s, Tech-9s, and Deagles. No real grenades to speak of for the T side here. They will be going for apartment control, but Hobbit contains him with the Molotov there. And not really much he can do at this point. Smoke can hold back with the AWP, take the first shot, fall back to library. That's all he really has to do there. Decent HE grenade will do a lot of damage. And in fact, it will kill Mujisk.
That works. The nade kill landing. Hobbit's accumulating a massive amount of damage. His ADR in the second half has to be massive, but the timing certainly isn't. Daisy walks out. Headshot down to Dren. He'll compensate. Wow. 3 kills for him. Very controlled 3 kills as well, and make it a 4th. Gambit.
He's looking fantastic right now. Getting him in the zone, that's just what they need now. 4 in a row now required. Timeout for North. They've had these huge leads before and have crumbled and not managed to close the game out. Going to overtime now would be devastating for them, considering the lead they had. It's going to be a Dren putting on a bit of a show with the AK-47, just nailing absolutely everything. Very confident indeed with that AK, and having a look at the money for now, it's going to be North. It's around 6k per player, so they can bring the AWP out they want to. I don't think we've seen that on their T side as of yet, so as we said, Config was the AWP on this map from what we saw against Optic. Only on the CT side, they didn't really necessarily use on the T side too much. Maybe that's the adjustment they need. On the previous map, they went down 5 rounds in a row, Cajun brought out the AWP, and they started winning again. So maybe that's what they're trying to work out right now. How do we find something to work with here? Right now they're looking a little bit flat, going for those defaults, getting shut down by the rotations of the CTs, coming into the backstabs as well. And it's a Dren doing a lot of big work in these tight rounds. Okay, no AWP comes in for North. 5 AKs once again. No default so far, nothing too fast. Maybe that's cool. We'll just go for a straight up rush here. Try and challenge towards Banana as quickly as you can. Try and beat the CTs there.
We'll see what the plan is with the AKs. Config, Cajun, AZ all heading the traditional way out of spawn, whereas Magisk and MSL take the new back door, the old back door as it used to be fair. And head up alt middle. It's Magisk toward T-side apartments early enough to watch to see if there's any aggression. There isn't. There hasn't been a lot of it in this game, to be fair, from either side when they're on their CT. AZ again will go toward Boiler. Smoke. Not get deployed until top middle just blooms now, but AZ had a Molotov going into his left that allowed him to confidently jump through and know that stairwell wouldn't be occupied, so he's got now into the main hallway. Zeus stays inside sight with Hobbit on balcony, leaving Mo alone arch side to get information and rotate back. It still gives them a decent crossfire. It's not quite as passive as North elected to play on that side of the map earlier on. The interesting thing is, and this is more of an old school tactic, Doja getting ready to face in Banana with the Drennet Coffins likely ready to flash him in. Used to play that at the corner at the top, but now with the new half wall and the opening that exists, you get a little bit deeper down Banana where you can get the flash over.
I think this is the execution we saw before. All the smokes in front of the pit, try and send one player out quickly out of the apartments area. That will be AZ. He'll be jumping towards the pit, trying to find the kill and towards Hobbit. The same smokes that won in the round previously. That's AZ getting ready for it. As soon as these smokes go in, Flash will come over and he'll try and jump into the pit and see what he can do here.
Oh, so smoke bounces. First one covers off, second one outside. Oh, they doubled it up. Yeah, massive gap. They missed it that time. It landed too far to the left. They wanted the one on the hay bales, but it leaves them an opportunity to see out from the pit. And that might be enough for Gambit to capitalize. Hobbit just barely getting north. It's Doja who wraps in from the front. They've got it covered off this time. Smoke's in front of the B connection as they walk through, and Doja lining them up inside, takes them down as well. Config falls with 4 seconds left.
Well, they take the pause, they work out what's the strategy here, how are we going to break this final round. They've already shown us that full smoke execution, this time it's a fake of it. So AZ jumps out, but the misthrown smoke gives them a gap to work with. They find out just one player there, and Dosia, the thing is, they only had about 15 seconds remaining at this point. They have to run through the smokes, they're getting flashed as well. Yes, he gets 4 kills, but he didn't have to work too hard for the map. He actually just gets really, really easy spray down at that point. But 15-12, and maybe the fast Banana play. I did say this was an option before. Rush Banana, hope for the best, getting a bit desperate now as a Dren finds another kill.
Yep, good position. As soon as Doji goes down, they try and nade it. He's actually moved away from that nade. Watch the position at tree. Remember, you can still get on top of the log pile, and you can still get decent vision over that half wall.
This is when you can see that things are starting to fall apart for North. The tactics aren't coming together, the rushes looking a little bit desperate, and now back towards middle. Still a chance to win this round, but MSL down to 16 HP. Hobbit looks like he's in the perfect position to get in a couple of kills there.
Big. Yeah, Dren have been big. He's big again. Steps out for 2, but just lovely shot to take him back down. Oh, Mo, missed shot. Gives him a bit to work with because he's got sight. Bomb picked up. Immediate plant. and no one fast enough to rotate around to catch him off in doing so. But he's stuck in the sight. AK-47 Mo's op. He just has to hold the angle to let the other two wrap in, and as they do, he's gonna get closer on pistol. Good read. Molotov forces him out though, and that's gonna be enough. It's gonna go to 15-13. Gambit are definitely showing us they're CT-sided on this map.
We were 15-6 at one point.
We were 15-6 after one of the most abysmal missed calls ever, and I thought that was enough to push it over the edge.
Well, I think North right now, they're just hoping one of their superstars, they may just config and just find a crazy opening kill, and they can just capitalize straight away. They go for the B rush there and just get locked down by the utility usage. We just described this in the pre-game. It's so strong that the HEs at the start, the incendiaries can lock them out. They're hoping that doesn't come in. Maybe it's a different setup from Gambit and they can just sneak up there, but not meant to be. Another buy comes in. Of course, they have maximum loss bonus, and the bomb plant as well means they get a full buy, but 2 rounds now from 15-6. This would be devastating for North.
Especially when you consider it was a chance to wrap the series up that early. Get it done, maybe go learn to flyboard a little more. And get ready for the semis and potentially a final tomorrow for them if Hobbit backs away, has to Molotov off, and Apartments gets a little bit of information early on this time. But that's still very early and means possibilities are endless for North. They can back away. Config's doing that now, and MSL's down toward the bottom of middle again. Considering Banana, deep smoke, Doge is able to push in quite far and get that smoke down, so they've actually got the early rotation as well toward A. Question is, do they go back on it with time and smoke now gone?
Dosia by himself at the B site. If ever there's a time for them to capitalize here, if they get this kill, it could be round over. Dosia just jumping up, drops the incendiary as well, locks them in. He'll call for rotation from Adren at this point, so that's very nicely done from Dosia. Didn't overcommit. If he dies there, that could be round over. The T's would strike straight away, smoke towards spawn, and a very difficult retake. But they still have the advantage for now. Looks like this may be a banana execute at this point. The same smokes we saw before. Smoke spawn, smoke coils, flash over, use some Molotovs, hope that someone steps up here.
Smoke off on Coffins. Forces Doja to move, but Adren thinks this is a fake. He sees 2 smokes come down, and he thinks that this is a fake. He's already rotating onto Library. Zeus has gone to the underpass position, and he's going to be late. Adren realizes now he's made the wrong call. He thought the smoke timing and lack of entry had to be the right call from Hobbit early on to spot them over on A. That allows a fast bomb plant. This might be enough for North. As they flash back out to Banana, hold it off. Additional smoke thrown from AZ towards CT. Magisk is going to counter-flank Zeus, but he's sitting and ready for it, I think, because he knows that he didn't find a kill, and he's normally the one selling it. Zeus, good read, takes down Magisk. It's AZ left, 1 versus 3. Holding for the entry angle, hits that shot immediately. Hobbit's up close, and a double peek immediate trade. They line it up, well done. Mo hits the shot.
Magis just wasn't part of the situation for his team at that point. He was trying to sell the fake, and it does work to some extent. He pulls a player away from the CTs, but as soon as the CTs realize he's still waiting in second middle, he's hoping the CT pushes down. Little did he know, they'd already made it past him. They're going up banana, his teammates are getting mowed down there, and they find Magis, like he said, well read from the CTs. 1 round separates us from overtime, 15-6, Gambit putting on a performance worthy of a quarterfinal here. And let's see where we can close things out in regulation. North came very close then, but just didn't have the teamwork towards the end to finish the round off after getting the bomb down for the first time quite a while. We'll see what happens in round number 30. He's gone the full distance here. Can Gambit do the impossible?
Flash to go through the smoke in a fast play. It would have been seemingly impossible, and it pushes Mo back. Nade's gonna go up from Zeus, that'll do damage. AZ's burning alive, he's downed. Hobbit, he's not only burned AZ, he's put a bullet into him and taking Cage and B. Magisk does respond with a nice kill, but it's Mo there. And this is looking like overtime. They're just walking into a slaughter. It's all on config. Bomb drop 19, 18 HP as he gets tagged through the edge of the barrel, and they're still trying to fire into the smoke. He's trying to cover his backside. Get past the poor little Vespa, which probably has a better hope to win the round riding away. 15-15, Gambit, I'm impressed you forced that overtime. Imagine what could have been without the mistake, but now it's all reset. They've got a chance to force map 3.
Good Lord, 15-6, and North feeling the pressure at this point. Just needed 1 round, just 1 performance, 1 clutch, and they could have taken it, but Gambit, very resilient, very good on the CT side. You see that's where they specialize here on Inferno, especially towards that B side once again. It's Dosia doing a lot of work here. Mo actually putting in a very good performance. Final few kills here as he finishes things off. So we have a minute break in between, and it is MR3 16K. So that means you can get the AWPs double if you want to on the CT side. And okay, now we have an adjustment map. Cage and B picks up the AWP for the first time on their T side. Something has to change, doesn't it, right? So let's give this a go.
I have to eat my words because I called game done on that tilt, and they managed to pull it back, so credit to them. But you're right, Cajun B, aggressive with the op as well, it
There we
works.
go.
And it takes down the additional op. It's not like it's just any CT player, it's Mo on the op, who again can't get rolling. Every single time he tries to get to an angle, it's beaten by North. And look at the fast pace from MSL. Good hold from Zeus. He goes down on Arch, and that might be the round on its own. This will funnel them back toward B, and look at Doja staying aggressive, spray, and the smoke finds 2, damage as well on AZ. His 3 HP left, the Dren just waits and has to just hold the trigger. He'll get AZ at least, and 7 HP from a just good hold from Gambit. I've got a feeling they could sweep this overtime.
I've got the same feeling. It's going to be the Cajun B AWP that opens things up. MSL, though, the overcommitment toward Judge. He's by himself. There's no refrag potential there at all. Zeus finds him, funnels him back towards B, and this is the moment. I'm just building up. They run through the smoke. Dosia gifted more kills. They've done this 2 or 3 times now, running through smokes into his crosshair.
I saw 2 sparks fly on the second body. I think a dropped gun actually saved him from getting a triple there. I think it denied the bullet from killing AZ in the end. Not that it mattered, because he died when he got to the top of Banana anyway. As Cajun sits to watch into Banana with the AWP this time. No one to face him down, Mo. He's sitting far more passive this time with the op, because every time he tries to get aggressive, it hasn't worked out. Zeus will rotate as well after putting down the smoke to allow Dojia's more aggressive play and Banana to continue. He'll back off, no surprise. Rotation from a Dren though with Doja. He's confident to leave Doja there, they certainly are. And finally, we're gonna see an old school boost. Zeus goes up. Cage, Cage, Doja goes down. Now they have to rotate back. Adren's not yet moving. They're confident to stay on A. They're just gonna gamble that they all go toward A and use the crossfires. This could work, because North's gonna think that they've rotated off of it.
Yeah, this is actually so sick from the CTs.
Mo nearly goes through the smoke to find it, backs away toward A. They now know the ops there. Is that enough for North to reconsider? It certainly seems it. No rotation. That's such a gamble from Gambit. No rotation back to B after losing Doja. It's gonna be an open site. Finally, Mo realizes, hang on, I've got to get the op in position. There is smokes to cover off CT. They've got 2 smokes remaining. Good pickup from Zeus. Magistic alone, yep. Again, he's the salesman, and he's gone. He was removed from the last round of regulation on a late rotation. They're gonna go. They are smoked off, so Mo will have the op toward Ruins as he starts to walk back in. Coffins. I thought he was just gonna go and walk in. Had their back turns. Config goes safe plant in behind the statue, and AZ, he'll cover off from the water position and hold for a re-entrance. No one coming up from Banana, and even if they do, that's covered off by Cajun to let AZ know he's got place to room to wiggle. Watch the HP as well, because it's so low. No nades. That would be significant at this point in time, especially toward Nubox as Mo continues to fire. One goes down. Zeus finds MSL. Emo covered off. AZ still waiting for it, and they're going to try and use Cajun to get the crossfire. Gun barrel shows. Good play from AZ, and they find finally the elusive T-sided round. It brings it back to 16-16.
Oh, such an interesting round there. After Cajun B once again opens things up to the AWP, there seems to be a nice adjustment for them. He takes down Dozio, who's jumping up in that same position. They were aware he was doing that. They actually tried to work out what's the position there. And like you said, Gambit actually holding up, didn't rotate a single player over. They're so confident they'd go back towards the A side of the map. And the play from North is to send Maze's middle by himself, but he gets nothing for it. And once again, it makes it a very tight situation. But finally, they win a clutch, and it's going to be easy to find the final 2 frags there. Cajun's still on that AWP. He'll be looking towards middle this time, and Mo doesn't dare challenge at this point. He's holding back on the corner.
A bit aggressive this time. Passive aggressive, I guess you could say, toward the B apartments. Quick smoke down. Cover off the top of stairwell as AZ again is inside of the apartments, but this time Hobbit stays around a little bit longer and finds him, so early pick for Gambit to work with. Bomb is dropped as well back toward T stairs, so they've got to go back for that at some point in time. Solo aggression from Config. It's a nifty little gap that Hobbit's found in the hay bales. Similar, I guess, in some ways to the gap that used to exist in the front of the broken down Ford, which stands for Found on Road Dead truck that used to be there. And it's going to be back toward the top of middle instead. Flash off to the left. Cajun wants to get his op in position to hold that. But Mo has gone toward Moto to hold it as well if they wrap around toward the arch with his AWP. More passive this time for him. Steps out slightly, spots the flash, dodges it, gets ready for the smokes deployed on Arch, but he's going to see... Oh, does he see the gap? I think it just evades him. But they know it's going back the other way because Zeus peeks it out. Watch the reset of the AWP, finds Cajun, and they're 2 men down before they even get ground on a bomb site. It's Ren and Doja still exist within the site itself, but they're found. Config slow play, spots a shoulder, and they manage to land the shot. Orange is one peeked out. Great shot from MSL. Magist goes back, down goes Deuce. They're finding everything on the rotations. Mo goes aggressive, it's straight, and it's down to just Hobbit remaining in a 1 versus 2. Has a kit, he's gonna push through, now dissolved smoke. Magist playing where Config was able to play with them last time, but Config is playing at the caskets. And with smoke down, he's relocated, takes Hobbit down. It's 2 rounds for North now on the terrorist side, and that one a big one because they pulled back from a 2-man deficit.
Yeah, they did indeed. Config and MSL doing some great work in the entry kills towards the B site. Looked like the CTs had that one locked down. They got the initial advantage there thanks to Hobbit, and I thought they'd done a perfect job at that point, but some great shots there. Good teamwork towards the end as well, that 2 versus 1. Very safe. One towards new boxes and one watching Banana as well is playing for the bomb, and they have the advantage once again. 2-1 now. 2 rounds in the second half of their CT side was very, very good. That's what it will take. 1 to get the draw, 2 for the win and close out the series.
Gambit's fought back so well, but it still may not be enough.
Well, for those watching at home, it's first and 19 at the top of your scoreboard. 18-18 would send us into double overtime. So far, in terms of the buy, Mo back on the AWP on the T side. No AWPs to the CTs. Quite rare they bring that out, but the 5-man rifle setup was so strong, no reason to change things up.
He does go through. AZ gets obliterated by it, all things considered. About as max damage as possible with the armor, and considering his position and where it detonated, he hits and is left for 52. Double Molotov play again as they swap over. We saw that last time work very well for them as they got 2 kills with it. You made mention of it. This time they don't find any kills, so they think it has to be secure. They double check that by getting toward the tree, and they're gonna leave MSL alone to anchor without anyone on Banana, but now that's when they start to accumulate. So MSL is gonna have to be very careful. And a smoke down from him early signals AZ to return, but they don't have any further utility on this B site.
Boost again. Will it work twice?
They're ready for it. Hobbit's ready for it on the, the logs this time, and routes the wraparound as they back away. Line up, thankfully, MSL holds true to catch Zeus off because a double kill there, and it's a fast push to be they're in. Now North give themselves a chance. Config's waiting at CT spawn for a call. He's literally trying to be a support play in this, and with a smoke going down at CT connector, he'll get closer to MSL, but that's exactly when they strike on A. And Adren taking down Cajun. We know the crossfires have been very strong from North on this site, but they don't exist this round as Doja takes down Magist.
They thought it was going to be side attack that at that point. They find 1 kill, go back towards A, and there's only players on the bomb site and library as well. The crossfire certainly not there, and this should be an easy round now as Mo finds another headshot to take down Config up to MSL. And at this stage, he can't really do anything about this situation. It's a 4-on-1, bomb down, and there it is. It's going to be Gambit tying things up at 17-17.
And MSL electing to try and save in this for the simple reason of ops later in the half. Quite comfortable with where they all exist. Doja will push back down bottom middle to get away, and MSL will survive it. The Hobbit's still searching for him on the B site, but you're right, 17-17. Still all to play for.
Well then. AWP purchased for Cajun B this time. It was the defining factor on the T side, actually get them some opening picks and actually managing to get them something to work with here. But there we go, Gambit arrive in the second half. Round number 5, like we said, 18-18's double overtime. It's 1st to 19 for the victor.
MSL sitting in behind the bags. He's gonna watch the top. The banana position as Adren tries to get to the old cheeky position, Mona Lisa's top kitchen to try and fire into where boiler, where bedroom used to exist. And just to make clear, I made mention of the save. It's 16K start for the DreamHack rules in overtime, so it wasn't necessary that he did go for that save, but he elected to anyway. And without Dust too, that kind of solves the 16K overtime problem where you used to be able to buy up all of the
auto snipers.
Yeah,
that was a huge problem. Well then, North taking a bit of damage to kick things off. Cajun's down to 31 HP. The AWPer was trying his luck towards middle, but took some heavy damage there, and it's back towards B. This combo of AZ and MSL has been very good so far, and they may be tested once again. If they can pick up this round, they've secured double overtime.
Cajun elects not to fire into that smoke. He'll stay with Magisk this time. They don't want to over-rotate, but it is going to be B. MSL and AZ have to hold true. One from the fountain, but only one. Hobbit gets the refrag. MSL Nubox has to peek out and find Hobbit, but it's Redden's got the number for him, and it's going to be a bomb plant default once again. It's Config with a double smoke out. Bit of a miscue, but I guess certainty in the fact that it's covered off. It does limit them from one in the post plant. Has to rotate back through the chapel and in toward ruins. Config. Now Molotov is getting space bought by the utility of Gambit. Hobbit's very low toward Nubox. If he finds a pick fast enough, they could potentially go on this. They've got kits, but that's ticking faster and faster. They need kills immediately, and it's so disciplined from Gambit. No peek, now they know where they are. Walk around the Dread, nails Config, that's 18. It's gonna be Gambit on map point first. And as you say, overtime, number 2, at the very least, secured. Magisk doing what he can, but it's done. The bomb is gone.
Well, Gambit. Who would have thought after being 15-6 down, they're going to be the ones that go to map point next. 18-17, North now won't be bringing out the AWP. 5 rifles across the board, and Gambit can actually win the map now after going 2-1 down in the first half. Mo still on the AWP. Adren, I have to say, doing a fantastic job. Hobbit, I think he's landed on 30 kills as well. Major's not too far behind, 29 for him. Double overtime, suddenly a possibility. 3 players now towards the B side of the map. It's going to be Config joining AZ and MSL. And they're going to maybe try that boost again. That's, what's the play? Maybe 3 grenades to go down bottom banana. That could work out.
AZ smokes back down toward mid. Just that's going to wait to see if they push out from Boiler, but MSL meanwhile double nade in towards Zeus. Oh, that's gone. He's done. Land it perfectly as they had the awareness. Double Molotov play means it's the only other spot they had to check, and through the smoke, AZ's got Hobbit down as well. There's a chance for double overtime for North, as Cajun will get a Molotov down toward Diggity, walk back out. They know he's got one committed, and Magisk finds a Dren. Leaves it to 5 on 2. And Doja smoked off, does what he can with a Molotov to clear in behind the wall, but that actually goes light. He bounces it underneath balcony instead. Meanwhile, Mo, late to the party, is going to try and get up toward top mid with his AWP. He's got Doja back together with him. He'll give him the bomb, and they'll go back toward B. MSL has to beat the rotation. It's the only chance they win the round is if MSL gets isolated and goes down, so he's got a choice to make. If AZ doesn't get there in time, he either stays efficient and stays passive, but he's got to smoke out. That's going to buy all the time he needs.
Yeah, they've got 2 smokes on the T side. MSL needs to be very careful there, but he has got a gap to work with. That's actually very beneficial, and that could be the round over. They won't be checking for that gap. There it is. MSL gets the bomb down. 15 seconds remaining, and it will be double overtime here, unless Mo can find something sensational. He cannot. The adjustment from North works out. 3 players towards Banana at the start. That's where Gambit have been focusing most of their defaults, at least at the start of the round there, and Config backs him up. They go more aggressive this time, smoke down to the bottom of Banana and finds 2 kills. Very well done. There's double grenades towards the tree area as well. Gets in that first kill, and they manage to avoid letting the second map slip by.
But it also means benefit to them, they start CT side. You've got to go against Gambit's very, very impressive CT side that shut them down for so long. So what's the call again? 16K, so forget the passive buys for the 2-round losses. You can potentially go aggressive with double ops if you elect to. There's going to be no ops. They want all rifles on the north side of the CT this camp this time. And Mo is going to go with that T-sided op yet again, which I have to say wasn't overly effective in regulation.
Well, Config drops the same smoke at Banana to help his teammates a little bit more aggressive if need be. Everything reset once again. Mo on the AWP, hoping Cajun decides to take another challenge at that position, but with no AWP, I doubt to be doing it. I love it when they have the crossfires in those pits. That was when North looked their absolute strongest. They can't be baited out of that by having a little bit of presence towards B. They know that Gambit have a very slow team. It's going to be quite rare they fully commit at the start of a round.
Molotov, Zeus checks cubby corner. Doja, meanwhile, is lurking up inside of the apartment position. It's Cajun on the balcony that's ready for him, and Magisk down below. Smoke from Magisk will buy Cajun a bit more space. He can actually afford to peek if he wanted to out toward the top of Diggity, but it's the wrap on Arch that becomes more concerning, and Config he needs to spot this. Mo had position on it. He's watching Library, careful not to fire into his teammate. Flash, oh, everyone blind. Everyone, including the man who was intended to be flashed in, Config, who couldn't find kills. What this has done allowed Zeus to work into Library. Config needs to be aware of this. And I don't think he's gonna have any clue. Oh, Zeus is gonna walk in behind. Config manages to get one, but down he's about to go. Make sure he's absolutely got it nailed. Lines up for two. Zeus, that's so smart. And what a shot to hit Cajun. Config tried to turn around as he could. It's all left to Magician side of the site. Dojia's got him down. And that is lovely from Zeus. And such unfortunate timing from that first flash, so Config doesn't spot him. MSL, good catch on Hobbit, trying to get apartment post plant, but Dojia immediately refrags from pit. And AZ's found trying to rotate in. Zeus to hold the line.
That was beautiful counter-strike from Zeus there. He knew exactly where Config was, and he allows him to take one of his teammates down, but he doesn't take the challenge straight away. He goes and takes the balcony player down, and then punishes the second as well. You can see exactly what goes on here. That's so good. Nails that first shot. That's the important one. If he fluffs that at all, then he's in a lot of trouble there, and the round potentially slips away, but Zeus find that final frag as well. 1-0 here in double overtime.
Double nade down Banana yet again. No one on the receiving end of the airstrike this time as Hobbit's back just too far to catch any damage. AZ, meanwhile, is still trying to find aggressive stance. The nade will do damage to MSL to put him on 64. I'll fly a second one over the shoulder of AZ as well. Jostle for position. Remember, that's where Gambit did struggle tremendously in regulation to get control of. And finally, Mo gets a T-sided pick early on. That's Cajun down. And it's Config again that has to worry about Zeus wrapping. This time he catches him, but he goes down either way. Zeus again opening up all the ground for them to work with, and it's Magisk left alone once more. Molotov out, nade on top of it, flash. He has no vision to spray, and Dojia hits a lovely headshot. I'd say that round gone as well, potentially. AZ's gonna argue otherwise. MSL finds Mo. So chance for the post plant. Hobbit's gonna stay sight this time, but Dojia's already inside of the apartments. And he's got vision of the bomb. The same play all over again that we saw with Cajun B, except Dojia has no Molotov to miss. As MSL tries to hit the shot, Dren's got the wrap. Hobbit's got AZ, 20 rounds for Gambit with a CT side we know is impressive. This is looking very good.
Team ace there for Gambit. Zeus looking incredibly sharp right now. Some sensational shots. He actually looked dead to right at that point, turns around, blows the head off Config, and it's going to be 2-0 now. Gambit looking great on this T side, and still money to buy into the final round for North. The AWP comes in for Config this time, and we'll see whether he can be the difference maker as we go into the final round of the half here. Double AWP set up on the T side once again. Zeus and Mo wielding those weapons.
Cajun waiting, does find Dojia trying to push up. And he can afford to fall all the way back inside of the site with the early pick. They need to maintain the man advantage. Crossfire set as well with Config waiting by the arch side now with Magisk. Popping out from quad. It's going to be Mo that wants to peek in AWP. And a Molotov to double check that it's absolutely clear, that gun barrel. Config, oh, can't get the shot and backs off. Didn't even pull the trigger.
That looked like some sort of misplay. I'm not really sure. He just didn't move, didn't pull the trigger at all.
Dren gets a tag from Molotov, but that damage into Config can be significant on the AWP. MSL, as we mentioned, is already tagged as well. So they could pull back this deficit relatively easy, especially look at MSL's position. AZ, he's gonna flash him in, but he's gotta go now if they wanna make this effective. MSL goes, he's flashed out. It works perfectly, exactly that from AZ, and MSL gets all three.
Once again, we've seen that setup before. AZ flashing in MSL, and it works to perfection. Three-man spray down, and Config, after not necessarily even missing the shot, didn't even pull the trigger there. I thought that round could have fallen apart, but it will be 2-1 in favor of Gambit. Here's the replay right now. Flashes is so perfect. You can see them covering their eyes. Nothing they can do to defend against that. And it's the three-man spray down working out for MSL. It would have been a 3-0 if he doesn't pick up that situation. So still something to work with here. The T side has been the problem though for North. Haven't looked as convincing as they did on the CT side. Orb comes in again for Cajun B. Seems to be he's the one who's opening up the map for him. He's currently on 17 frags, 24 deaths. Haven't had the best game, but he has found those opening picks a few times now.
Zeus. Quick throw for the Molotov. Gets it a little bit deeper because he commits further than what Config's been doing on the CT side of North, but still has time to get the rotation back over to A, and that's the important aspect. Mo with a temporary flash thrown in his face, backs up to Arch just in case they push around, but he realizes now they haven't. Double checks to make sure they haven't gone to quad either. And another deep smoke thrown. Again, it's Dojia left on his own. Nade, oh, flash, nade in, but I think they would have spotted. Not sure how blinded they were on the other side. Boost up, AZ, lovely shot down Dojia finally. But Adren's back inside of the site early. It has forced the rotation from Mo. This is their best chance to open up A on a fake, but they've got to count out for Zeus, who's inside of quad. He's tried to cover off the position aggressively. Hobbit has left pit. We used to say you never leave pit until you confirm the bomb is at B, because it's such a powerful position. It's changed slightly. I don't think it's quite as powerful as it used to be. We'll have to wait to see if that's determined over time, but at this point, it's all on Zeus.
Yeah, he's in a good position here. He could get multiple frags. He needs to get more than one. If he gets the one and done here, that's not going to be enough, and it will mean the north side will capitalize.
He's got one, easy one, back turned, looks for another, but MSL, good trade. Takes damage in doing so, but it's an important trade because they still have rotations coming back the other direction. And Hobbit, he's made his way inside of the site, good headshot, but he's got more to find. Pit covered off, no need to repeat that far. Spots an elbow, good shot on Cajun. But where's the third player gone?
Oh no!
Wrapping around, what a headshot from Hobbit as he turns and nearly takes him down. It's going to be the bomb up, it's going to be in position, but Adren's got a chance because of the low HP, and it's worked out well, knows where the planter is, but Magisk holds true and puts it 20-20.
Such a brawl here. Config, he's had a few misplays in the last couple of rounds. That's an easy kill, that's a one-tap, goes to the full spray, and almost loses the round there, but the fact he gets headshot in return, and these Mages, as he's planted a bomb, that could have fallen apart, just down to that dink alone, that missed spray. Nuts round. Config did a very good job to nail this one, and then just that overcommitment, you can see he's just not controlling it effectively enough. It might not seem like a big deal, but the fact he gets headshot there as his teammates planting the bomb could have fallen apart. The North do find the first round after AZ opened things up towards B, taking down Dozier. He did a lot of damage with the AT grenade at the start as well. Double overtime, and North pull one back.
Easy again gets inside of the boiler position and watches the stairwell, so this is the default that we've seen time and time again from North. Similar setup with Adren staying over to help Dozier a little bit earlier on this time. They've thrown a second smoke down to the bottom of Banana. And they'll go passive this time. Dozier for once will not stand forward inside to hold ground in Banana. One of the things I have to note with this upgraded Inferno is even the minimap is much more clear. Dark spots where there's roofs above, so you can know where you can flash and where you can't. It's a nifty little change from Valve that needs noting. Is meanwhile, Mo, inside of the site, op to cover off apartments with smoke, can now look toward quad. Slow and short from North. First shot exchanged toward Mo. They push him back ever so slightly. It's MSL, though, meanwhile, that's going to find the shot. Meanwhile, Zeus has to be careful not to get pushed back. Config, good shot into him. He's gone. Hobbit, he's trying desperately to use this small hole inside of the hay bales, but down in front of them, AZ gives himself up. It's another shot. Look at Hobbit. 3 kills for him. It just finally puts him down, but his amount of damage is so massive. I have to sit and pause and reflect on how impressive it was that he even finds 3 with an M4 and headshots for that moment. As Magisk will get the bomb down, Molotov covers off, and he's going to get aggressive. That works to find Dozier. A big round for North. They want the first map point in this double overtime because it's the CT side of Gambit they're against, and Magisk aggressive in overtime.
He steps up once again. Magisk, an amazing performance there in the 2 versus 1. Gets dinked in the first encounter and uses the flashbang so well then to actually give himself a chance. The spray wasn't the prettiest, but it does the job. And this is the flash. There's a Molotov down as well. The CD has to retreat. Just about gets it. Really nice stuff there from Magisk.
So well thought out that he puts the Molotov down that early too, because he knew exactly what he wants to do.
Yeah, it's really well done. Okay then, North has had a pretty rough affair on the T side here, but it's looking great so far. They find map point once again.
Adren, smoke down at the bottom of Bananas, trying to find a shot through the smoke, but won't land anything. He's getting quite aggressive with this AWP, I have to say. Just double checking no one's made it by him and inside of the corner of the Banana position. Dozier's still there as always. And Mo's playing very passive again with the AWP. He's going to watch to make sure they can't wrap onto the arch side, but a smoke out from the terrace will hold Hobbit's position and render him ineffective for the moment, but he doesn't want to move on it. He wants to use that to his advantage if the possibility exists. Smoke arch side, MSL bomb looking that direction. If he goes around and gets caught by Mo, that might be enough
Big nade
to force out yet another overtime. Big nade indeed, Zeus on 49. And guess what, who's rotating this time? With Adren on the op, not with Mo. I take it back on the rifle. I said it, he had it at Moto, I'm so used to him having it. It's Dozier that wants to rotate off of B early with the M4, but he's not confident in doing so because there's no further information gathered on the A site. There will be momentarily. As nades start to land toward the pit position. Zeus backs away from flashes coming through. Hobbit finding yet another kill, as he always does. Nearly gets another 3K. It's 2, and then the assist for Mo to follow it up, and it's Mo that's still dancing around to try and pull them back out. Config finds Mo in the smoke as he pushes in with the lurk. That's enough to open up a bomb plant, and it's a 2 versus 2. Rotation from Adren just getting to library as Doja will be at the top of middle, and Config has position on it, but Cajun B, 1 HP, has to be perfect with the op to catch off Adren when the smoke dissolves at library. And that also means Config has to time his peek from the graveyard. Doja could walk out and get Cajun before he even spots library. If he goes now, it's possible. He's just burrowed in the corner, but if he drops down, Magisk has to time it. Here comes Adren. Shot from Cajun, nails it. That might be enough. Magisk can play off the information. Molotov can bait him out. That's fine. He's in the corner, but it's done. Perfect play and wait from Config, and it's done in double overtime. It's North through to a semifinal.
Magisk, what a performance that was in the second set of overtime there, clutching 2 times in a row. They were 15-6 up at one stage, and usually this kind of team, you think that after they lose that kind of lead, they might crumble in the overtime. They really delivered there, and you can see what it means to them. After crashing out of the major, they've shown their best foot forward here in DreamHack Masters.
You have to say, it does. I called it done. It was obviously far from, as we find out. There's 2 sides to the story. Lurpus tweeted this back in response to Seized. The mist diffused could have meant the game is over in regulation. We go to a 3rd map. However, you could also argue the missed Molotov from Cajun allowed that to begin with. I still think the worst offense is not getting off the bomb when it was quite clear you should have.
Sure.
And either way, North capitalized. It took them a long time to break down and figure out that CT side. I think the slower play onto A, working picks, worked much better for them. Hobbit was hard to beat in pit.
He seemed to get 3 kills every single time. I think in that round he only gets 2. That's the difference maker. They managed to get himself a clutch situation. Cajun B was left on 1 HP. He nails that AWP shot and just about clawed the round. It was a real brawl towards the end there.
Very big brawl, and we've got more quarterfinals coming up. We're just getting started. It's a series that North needed to win, as Thorin said as well, because it proves that, yes, they can be a decent playoff team if they don't get lined up with unfavorable opponents and they're not in an underdog situation. For Gambit, they put up a decent match, but they still have room to improve, without doubt, especially on Nuke. I think was closer on the scoreboard in the end, given that they got the 5-0 start of the second half.
Well, I think we have an interview ready, and it's with the man of the hour, Magisk, on stage.
Thank you very much, Henry. First of all, congratulations. You are headed on to the semifinals. First time playing with AZ and already in the top 4. That must be a huge boost of confidence for you guys.
We came to this tournament without too many expectations because we just got asked to join the team. So already being in this semifinal is really amazing, and it's definitely a confidence boost for us.
Well, I need to talk about Inferno because that was kind of crazy. You guys were up 15-6. It looked like the match was all but over, but then it turned into double overtime. So walk us through what happened and how stressed was the team?
I think we started to stress out a bit as a team and the call-outs. So we lost some rounds where we had advantage, and they just punished us for making stupid mistakes, and they played really good on CT side.
Well, in the past, you are a very young team. We've seen in the past when VP came back against you guys on Cobblestone. In this case, though, you were able to close that out in double overtime. So in the end, when it really mattered, how was the team able to focus to get that win?
We had a timeout where we talked about what was going wrong, and we were talking about communication was a bit too hectic. And I think we just managed to calm down and focus on the game instead of focusing on the mistakes we had already done.
And I've already talked to MSL about how he feels that AZ is fitting into this team and affecting the team. From your perspective, how do you feel that the team has changed once AZ has come in?
AZ is a very calm person, and he's really good in hectic situations and stuff like that. So it was a bit difficult sometimes with Rubino because when he speaks very fast Danish, it's sometimes tough to understand. So the communication is definitely better, and I feel like his individual level is a bit higher, but it depends on the roles that they play.
All right, and last but not least, your next opponent in the semifinal will be either SK or Na'Vi. Now, obviously, both very strong teams. What are your thoughts?
I think both teams are going to be tough to beat. SK, they're hungry to get back in the #1 spot, so but Na'Vi is struggling a bit, so I kind of hope we play against Na'Vi because we normally play good against them as well.
Well, Well, congratulations again, and with that, it'll be North as our first team to move on to the semifinal.
Awesome stuff from North, and getting a full series out of Gambit on Inferno as well. Got a little apprehensive after the first, but we did get a real show to start off our first day in the Grand Garden Arena. Duncan Thorenshields, Chad Birchall, and Janko are joining me to talk through how this one played out. And I mean, I guess it would be foolish to start talking about Inferno because that's where the body of our discussion will go. Yeah. We should probably open, Duncan, just by talking about that nuke pick. Something that we
I've got to say, it's the pick that, before we even talk about the game. Yeah. That's the thing, when you looked at it, I mean, this is something me and Janko were talking about already when we were saying, like, what will they ban? It's like, I understand the logic of banning it in a sense because you know that would have been the pick. Sure. It's not a map you necessarily want to play. But when you look back now, like, what were you really hoping for on Nuke? Like, you neither's good, but at least I feel like on Mirage, you'd have had a chance, you know? I think that would have been picked instead of Nuke. I think you at least would have played it, whereas we saw on Nuke, they kind of had nothing, you know?
I always look back to the in-game leader Zeus, right? He never played Nuke with Navi, but they played a lot of Mirage. They were the world's best team on Mirage. So if you have to play a map that you know you're going to be weaker on, why not go for Mirage, which everyone knows the smokes, everyone knows like the angles, all of that stuff, and then you can maybe, you know, play freestyle a little bit. Sure. You don't need to have as much set strategies on that map. I feel like it's better if you're gonna have to go for a bit of a random map, better to try and do it on Mirage than on Nuke.
And especially considering they continue to go for the bit of a wild card of Inferno as their map pick, right, Chad?
Yeah, just to cap off Nuke, I think they just started slow, Gambit, because they did start on the CT side. They only got 4 rounds. They probably should have actually gotten less because there was a few rounds where they relied on clutches, but you could see as they warmed up through the series, and especially on Inferno, that players like Hobbiton were starting to step up and have a lot more impact, especially with 3 to 4 Ks slowing the rounds down for North. But yeah, their T side on Nuke wasn't too bad. They got 7 rounds. So Gambit as a whole, I think they were prepared for Nuke. They just started slow.
Started slow, but also, I mean, there surely should be some praise hailed towards North and their play on Nuke.
Oh, for sure. That was an awesome
becoming their best map, right?
Yeah, that T-half that was dominant. You know, when you can do top rushes, which shouldn't be possible with Molotovs, and they're still making it work, and Magix is able to get out Squeaky Door down the vent, use it as a one-way, be so dynamic. They are exciting because they have more than one dimension on that map, and that's what you need.
Adding some depth to their Nuke gameplay. Is there any innovation we're seeing on their Nuke at the moment, Janko? I mean, you know, the map's been out for a while now. We're hailing North to be one of the best on it. Is there any particular things that stand out?
I mean, they're pioneers on the map in a sense from the T side. You can see how they are a team who walks down secrets when they throw the smokes on yard. They don't want to give away sound cues to a player that might be playing from Garage. That allows them to sneak down secret without the CTs maybe being aware of it and making the rotation. And later on, they can just throw the smokes and then go for an upper execute or something, because again, if you don't have a player in secret to spot them visually, you're not going to get a sound cue to know if they're there. So that forces the rotation. That's the most important thing on T side Nuke. You want to force out the rotations from the CTs and figure out which player is rotating to the lower bomb site.
And forcing rotations was a common theme on our second map as well, Inferno. Just starting with you again, Chad, regarding that B bomb site, because you were saying something quite interesting over in that green room. You were thinking that holding B is going to become a very different meta as this map continues to be played.
Yeah, you could see how easy it was for the terrorists to take Banana after those initial Molotovs and smokes dissipated. There's still plenty of time on the clock. You're able to get control and keep a lot of utility. And then those B executes just with the coffin smoke and the CT smoke, a few Molotovs, you can take the site and isolate the players extremely easily. I think in the future you might see more like retakes coming in from the CTs where they're willing to give up space, give up the site, and then save their utility to retake the bomb site. Another nice little thing that we did see from North was that Molotov setup in Banana, which I think Janko might go over a bit later for us, but
Absolutely.
That was a nice one.
Yeah, and I mean, Duncan, anything from you on regarding Inferno? I'm getting to see MSL going off as well.
This was the big, kind of the key of one of the keys of the series, actually, and on this map particularly. Like, when he first said that line, which was said on Twitter, actually, yesterday, that part of the reason why his level of play had gone up is because he changed his sensitivity, he'd gone down to something lower, so the idea is more manageable, you know? Initially, when he said that, I kind of rolled my eyes a bit, because I was like, well, it's convenient saying that now when you've had a good game, you know? That's, you kind of confirmation bias, you know? And it's like every pleb, you know, where they get a new mouse and they're like, oh, you don't understand, I'm so good now. It's like, you just know, well, in a week, that psychological effect will fade.
Yeah, I've done the same.
And you'll just be the same old player we always knew. But actually, I have to say, he's now played 4 maps in a row where he has looked significantly better. I mean, he's just taking aim duels, he's winning them. His spray's actually pretty decent. His deagle's pretty decent. So it's kind of added a new dimension to this team, because we already knew the other 4 players are amazing. Some of those have been star players in this game. So if he can just frag, it doesn't have to be at this level, just at a decent level like he was able to there, they're going to get quite dangerous, actually.
And an observation I'm sure was made by many was the confidence in his play, Janko. MSL was taking fights in Banana. Config was flashing MSL into fights. I mean, what's going on?
I think this is like 2014, 2013 all over again. We have Pasha playing amazingly well. We have MSL. I mean, MSL was a specialist in his old Western Wolves team at playing those smaller bomb sites, right? He was a player similar to MBK in a sense that you can rely on him to always get the job done to an extent. We have Dosha playing amazingly well for Gambit.
Plus Shroud is just a streamer.
Shroud's just a streamer. Yeah, so I think that sure, it goes both ways. AZ flashing MSL in that way. Whoever comes B after MSL, AZ is there to clean up, and you could see that some of those flashes were so good. It's like you don't have to do anything. You're gonna get those kills 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, it was rather brutal. Now, Duncan did hint at it, or rather, Chad, excuse me. You did have some extra things to break down over at the Weatherman.
Yes.
Oh, baby.
That set up. It's like a pretty cool thing. Like Chad pointed out, Banana is obviously the crucial part of the map, and it seems like B side is a bit more difficult to hold. So you could see that teams are trying to adjust in general to how to approach this. And something we've been seeing a lot from North is actually mid-round, they want to try and clear Banana and basically get some map information at least. So you can see how Hobbit and Mo, they're all towards the banana area, trying to maybe get a cheeky kill through a smoke, trying to get some map information, map control. But you can see now they're setting up with the nades. So they smoke off deep, they throw the 2 mollies. You can see the players have nowhere to go. Everything, they both died to the fire, and just because of that little cool setup, North gets a 5v3 advantage. They get all map information. This is something they've done in overtime as well. This is how they basically got to second overtime. Now, a second thing is, I know you, Alex, wanted me to do this.
I requested this one.
This is especially for you. It was actually a round from North that I thought they were going to win this round. I thought this is where they're going to win the game. So in general, when you are really struggling on your T side, you can't win a round going to either A or B. You maybe even try the fake, it doesn't work. Something in my experience that can work really well is trying to go for sort of a double fake, right? You attack a bomb site in 2 waves, so the CTs are thinking you're faking, they're going to rotate, while in fact, you're just waiting a little bit and then starting with 2 waves. So you can see how they're setting up towards B. This is like the initial execute, all the smokes, everything is like standard stuff, while Magic is all the way towards the apps area, and he throws the molly, the flash, wants to draw some attention to himself. So you can see how the first array of grenades already drew players like to rotate towards the B bomb site. That's the problem. The only problem is Zeus is already in a position where Magic doesn't expect him. So now you can see how, oh, they're not going B, they're throwing stuff out of apps. Adren is going back, Mo is already on long, and Zeus is the only player waiting for the rotation. So even though initially they over-rotated, now you can see that they got the bomb down, and this is actually an okay situation for North. Because Magic kind of missed his timing, or actually Zeus hit good timing, they will still go on to lose the round. But this was a far better round for North than some of the stuff that they've had previously. They had a much higher chance winning the round because previously they had a hard time getting to the bomb site even.
And what blew my mind about that as well was that they lost that after plant situation, Chad. I mean, I can't help but feel that Inferno B bomb site is one of the more difficult sites to retake, surely.
Yeah, normally it is. I think, as Janko said, Zeus was the thorn in their side there. Having that banana control, you would expect Magic to be able to fall back and cover that. You didn't expect someone to push when he was so aggressive in apps. But it's surprising how much B play we saw in that game. We didn't actually see, I remember in the old version, how many over the top of the second mid-roof smokes you'd see for A executes, and you'd see like lots of jungle wraps or mid to Bs, that kind of stuff, but we didn't see any of that kind of play yet. So it's going to be exciting when this slowly evolves and we get all of that old stuff back in.
I mean, you have to look at this series though, and even before it started, we were kind of wondering, is that Inferno pick a risk? Because the problem is, like, yeah, it's true, if you play Cobblestone, absolutely North will be right there with you now, but are you good enough on Inferno to make that your pick? That's a really bold move. At the moment, we haven't really seen anyone who you can say is that, oh, they're so good on Inferno, that's going to be a go-to for them. So I feel like I understand it was a crazy pick and they were maybe trying to catch the guys from North off, but I think maybe they invested too much into what happened in that Optic game and thought, oh, they're just too bad on it.
It's definitely one of those situations where they will look back and regret not picking their best map when it was available, and thinking, did we really need this gimmick when we get the overpass? In any case, is a third map. That's like 2 out of the 3 best maps for Gambit. You get into the pool. Why not go for it? So a bit unfortunate.
And sure, that's definitely going to be a bitter pill to swallow. We have to get a couple of kind of words about Gambit's departure from the tournament, because I think that Inferno was a quick reminder that these are a team to be reckoned with into 2017, Duncan.
They're certainly good. I mean, actually, if we're talking about MSL, one of the really strange things about Gambit is that Zeus has had his revitalization.
True.
I mean, he was making all the plays, he was getting all the kills, he was entering on T-side, he was doing it all. But I actually feel like at the moment in that team, the question for me is, like, where is the ceiling in terms of the players? Like, I know Adren can be really good. We saw that ridiculous 1v3 on Nuke. I know Zeus is a pretty solid leader. He's going to have his style that's going to be kind of set in place. And Hobbit is still, like, he's showing signs, but he hasn't really taken over yet. The problem for me is, like, I think that Mo actually seems like the guy who's a bit out of place. Like, he was kind of built around as the star in the last version when they had Hooch and those guys in. He feels like he's a bit out of place. Like, his AWP isn't having massive impact, you know? And so that's, like, the one guy where I feel like at the moment, I wonder if he's the guy that stops them going to the next level.
Okay. Well, up for debate for sure. Just closing thoughts. Yeah,
I mean,
make it brief.
in this series, Mo had a bit of a shocker, as you guys would say. Yeah. So that's something, obviously, the opera of the team, very, very incremental part of the team, and really needs to be consistent.
Okay, well, we're going to leave it there for now. We have another game. In fact, we've got 3 quarterfinals to go ahead and get those semis locked in. We started with a bang here as the Great Danes are top dog for now. We're going to take a break, but when we do return, your second quarterfinal is coming right up.
Stay tuned for Mouse eSports versus Virtus Pro.